live. I'll go ahead and start out by saying apologies on the delay. We had some technical difficulties in the background. We have gotten those sussed out. Um, Probably, now that I think about it, a weird term to say you fixed something, considering the other usages of sus. But whatever. Thank you for coming to the channel. Um, um, just a shout out for everyone. Thank you for being here. Um, Shit, I really should write something before these. Otherwise, I just ramble. So I'm going to go ahead and cut myself off um, and throw it over to Mike. Go ahead.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, y'all. I have no announcements on my own, so we'll just jump right into today's session/episode of City of Illumination. I'll go ahead and recount of what happened last session. Very tumultuous session happened last Saturday. So if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out on our YouTube and check it out here on the channel while it is still up on archive. Session 12, I think we all agreed on the title being The Serendipity of Stephen. Um, Need to backtrack this real quick. Let me get out of here because I'm lagging. All right. So, where we left off with the Sand Swimmers, they continued their investigation and visited Mulshiad, the silver white scaled dragonborn, and who was the proprietor and also a powerful sorcerer that owned and ran the Summoning Scroll, a magical item store in the city of Macerna. There, they attempted to inquire more about tracking curse users and curses in general. Unfortunately, he offered no help besides the norm, so they instead visited the Rastian Thieves Guild and continued their little search of what the hell is going on, why is there curse users chasing us, and maybe Husu, the half-elf woman who was a member of the Thieves Guild, or who is a member of the Thieves Guild, was the one that was first contacted to appraise some of the trinkets they had been given by Chikao. Um, Inquiring with the Thieves Guild, or at least the location from what Jeffrey believed to be the entrance to the Thieves Guild, no one really knows where the Thieves Guild actually is for good reasons. It wouldn't make any sense for thieves to tell people where they operate and where they sleep, because then that's just counterproductive, in my opinion. Um, so they gave directions to a place, a shop, a fortune teller's shop, where they met a blind old woman. Um, and From there, they asked. At first, they inquired about what her business was, and she offered a fortune telling, offering them a foreboding and ominous account of what may still yet to come in their lives. Uh, they and they then inquired, I should say, about Husu and the other two. The fortune teller told them that Husu still lived, but was far away from the city, and that her two companions, her two associates, were also alive and outside the city, near the village of Tazi, the very first place they went to when they started their careers as freelancers. Um, Along with the reading, a certain phrase was hinted. I believe Tav was the one that sort of noticed that someone would help them on their journey,
Yeah.
someone with golden eyes. And Tav believes, along with probably maybe the rest of the group as well, that that individual with golden eyes would be the Asimar, young Asimar girl that they had helped and rescued on their second contract, named Godolina. So then they made their way to Tazi, and arriving in Tazi, they decided to visit the tavern where Nadila, who had hired them in the first place, or on their first contract, to see if she knew anything about these two people. Speaking with her and referencing Husu, she revealed that she was friends with them and that the other two, along with the other two, which were named Theros, the half elf man who was also as scarred as Husu, and Luini, the androgynous Tabaxi individual who was also there at the meeting, I think not 2 days prior. And told them that they were hiding out in a cove near a lagoon off the coast. Arriving, entering the cove, they were attacked by an insidious, fiendish creature with multiple arm hands for hair, and unleashed foul curses upon the party. The victory over the demon was a costly one, with the loss of Stephen, the dire rats, falling, and Sterling losing his rifle to some sort of rust curse. They met with Theros, but learned that Luina had passed away. As they buried Stephen, his decapitated head reattached itself and on its own, and he returned to life miraculously. Um, Shocked, horrified, and confused at a now common speaking, personified acting Dairat, they were still happy to see that their fallen friend had returned. Theros told them that Husu had interest in the book and met with a potential buyer that same day in the question, not just a couple hours before the Sandswimmers also arrived to meet with the unknown contact of Chikao. They were saved by Godolina and managed to escape and were forced to escape the city and have been on the run ever since then by those same Phoenix creatures that had just attacked them in this cove. All for this picture book, which still no one here understands why. They return to Macerna to tell Jeffrey everything, as they actually have been the entire day, not helping Jeffrey's mental state at all. He is completely on edge, more so. But at least he is in the know and he understands what is going on with the Sandswimmers as much as to his dismay. I think at this point, Jeffrey would probably be more beholden to take the approach of ignorance is bliss at this point. But
Too bad.
they decided that because the last known location of Husu was Afram that they had discovered from Theros, and that their current contract, was to escort a gem hunter by the name of Deshant to Afram. They figured that they could knock out two birds with one stone. And before setting out, they would first go take a long rest because it's already late at night and a lot had happened that day. And they decided that they would go and finally check out the Flux Deluxe, I think, hearing that the adventuring Smith had finally returned. And then they would go and find Deshant and head out to finish this contract, along with look for Godolina, I presume. I believe that's among also some of the reasons. But
Yep.
other than that, that is where we are picking up today. Uh, I know that Ox, you went to your hammock. George was there with maybe like 5 or 6 others. You did. He was still like half asleep. He did tell you that he got everything all ready for the transfers for the ship. That he had already selected a crew of 8 individuals amongst your dojo. And then you went to sleep. Sterling, you went to the Mary Tortoise and picked out a room, took a long rest, and along with Tav and now a just Stephen Baum. Uh, your first sight was the dark purple skin tiefling, who was shocked and also horrified as seeing Stephen walk completely as if he was a person through the doors and saying hi to him as you were purchasing another room. He told you that you're going to be a constant patron here, that you can actually just like rent out a room for like a few months at a time instead of renting a room every day. If you want to do that, did you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So for if you want to rent out for 3 months, it's going to be about 100 silvers.
Yeah, no problem.
Sounds good. Yeah, he gives you the largest room because he's a little bit intimidated by Steven, who kept asking for ice nails late at night. And so, yeah, the
I'm
the
a,
tiefling
Oh,
bartender is
God.
a little bit just scared.
I'm a great influence on Steve.
So as you make your way to your larger accommodations, Stephen, double fisting some ice ales, um, you go to sleep, and I think you all are going to go ahead and meet at the Flux Deluxe in the morning. Or is there any place else you guys want to meet before that?
uh,
Maybe we
no.
should meet up at the bank just to maybe put some of the trinkets away.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, we don't need to carry them out to sea
Yeah.
No.
Also, I
and
want to get
lose them.
money for the Flex Lux, so.
Yeah.
I got to check on my finances now that all that stuff for the ship has been set up. So I need to go to the bank.
Okay, so you all make your way to the House of Trade, owned by the Merchants Guild, and you access your magical vaults, your magical safes. So, I wrote all your character stuff. Okay. So, what I have, what from my own notes, Ox, you still have 598 gold pieces and 1,097 silver pieces
Okay.
in your bank.
I'm going to have them turn the silver into half of it into gold, and then I'm gonna withdraw the rest of the silver. So I'm gonna take
So
500 silver out, and then I guess I'm gonna get 50 gold added to my account.
it's 10 silver per gold, so you're gonna get about 100 gold
Okay.
if I'm doing the math correctly. So, uh,
Put my silver in my inventory.
yeah, 100 gold, 100 gold pieces, and then all your silver. Okay, cool. So you just have that 598 in there.
Yep.
Okay. Sterling, you still have 2,176 gold pieces and then 950 silver pieces, at least from my notes.
All right, I'm just gonna take the gold out, all of it
Okay.
for now, and then um, I think I'll just turn like I have enough silver on me. I'll just turn all of my silver into gold.
You turn
I
all your silver
can.
into gold as well. Okay, that's fine. They can do that. So that's 95 gold pieces. You
I'll
want
take that up too.
you take that out too? Okay, so besides the 2197, then you have another additional 95. Okay. And then Tav, you have 1,000 gold and 500 silver.
Yeah, I'm gonna take out let's say how much money. Yeah, I'm gonna take out all the gold for now. So 1,000.
Okay. And you keep the
And
500 silver.
yeah.
All right.
Uh,
And then you guys are going to deposit the satchel trinkets.
Yep.
Yep. But keep the
Look-
book.
Yeah, maybe keep the
Keep
book.
the book.
That way we just know where it is at all times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Who's holding on to the book?
I can have it in my bag or something,
Okay. That's fine.
or inside my jacket or whatever to keep it.
Fortunately, as long as my rifle stops getting targeted.
That's right. Just come at us, bro.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. And then we head to Flux Deluxe. I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. You guys want to hit the Flux Deluxe now? Let's
Yep.
All right. Sounds good. So as you make your way out from the House of Trades, it is a bustling day again in the city of Cerna. I believe what's today's date? Today is Ladine. It is the first day of the week, so it's like a Monday. So everyone's rushing to work. It's around 7 a.m. Everyone's rushing to work. Everyone's rushing to where they need to be. It is actually a not as hot summer day this morning. It's about 72 degrees, 73 degrees, a little bit chilly. So you see a lot more people wearing a little, actually like a cloak of some sort, or like maybe thicker robes over their attires. The sun is out, but it's not as powerful as it normally is. So it's just actually a very just nice summer day.
It's a good thing I got my
Nice.
shirt on because it's a little chilly out here.
A little chilly out. Your nipples are a little bit hard
Not
because
feel.
of the changing weather. Yeah. There's less sand in your joints today, Sterling.
That must be
Nice.
lovely.
Oh god.
Arthritis is not as good, or is not as bad today. So you make your way to the Flux Deluxe. I'm just looking for the reference picture that I have for it. I'll go ahead and drop it in miscellaneous maps and images. So as you arrive at the iron gate fence of the Fluxlux, there are quite a number of people making their way in and out, or in and out, or through the gates. What am I saying? Through the iron gates into this lovely sandstone home with, if you remember, a bunch of pipes sticking out from or protruding out from the wall itself. Um, a building and its pipes and its metal sort of just weird ironworks that surround the building were once quiet and cold are now bustling with steam and are warm. And you can feel that the whatever forge inside is alive and well. Make your way through. It reeks of like oil, grease. It smells it smells like a factory. If I had to put in some sort of sense. Sterling, it is very reminiscent of home back in the Cyber Sanctum. Much of the architecture is built towards efficiency and productivity. There is no need for aesthetics. There is no need for anything to look pleasing. All buildings and constructs are built for a purpose. So the exposed pipes, waterways, tankers, though unappeasing to some people, and maybe a little bit bulky and sort of in the way to you, makes sense. That needs to be there. That should be there. That's there for a reason. There's no need to cover it because they don't need like coverings. But for Tav and for Ox, it's a completely different experience seeing such steamworks alive and well in the building. Though no, mostly because both of you have never seen this type of architecture really up close before. There is several people. You can see that the weapons themselves, because this is a weapons shop, are encased in glass shelving, and they're resting on velvet padding. That's the only thing that looks truly beautiful in this abode are the weapons themselves in these very clean glass cases, and they're all resting on some sort of racking. But covering the racks are these velvet carpets, sort of puffy cushions. Um, right now, you don't see anyone that would resemble a smith of some sort. You see a lot of adventurers who are just like, oh man, Galahard has done it again. Whatever she has done on her adventures, she has probably acquired a amalgamation of resources and supplies and probably gold to craft such items and wares.
I need to replace my great axe. I wonder if there's anything like that here.
You see that all the weapons and armor, along with shield and stuff like that, that are in cases, you can definitely sense that they are magical. You can see that they're magical. Some of them have a different hint of color when the light that shines through the windows hits the glass and the weapons or items themselves. And then you can see that there are nicely placed, normal looking weapons and gear in a different section of this shop slash home.
Hmm.
There are quite a number of people in this place, as I said, but there is like a salon nearby that's sort of like tapered off or sort of like sectioned off. You see there's like a nice little iron chain that's sort of just like in the doorway. Inside is this beautiful sort of mahogany round table. There's some comfy chairs. You see three individuals, two of which you can definitely identify and see their faces, and the other one is facing his back, its back away or towards you. And the only thing you can see on this person is that underneath the large green robes that it has, and at the bottom it's all tattered and worn as if it's been this person's been traveling forever or for a long time. The massive emerald hilted greatsword is probably the most eye-popping feature, but the person has a hood on as well. The two other individuals is a dwarf with a very colorful hair, short hair, colorful beard. He is just downing several tankards of ale, and he has a massive, like, great hammer and a round shield with a crescent orange and yellow sun on the table. And the other is this fair-skinned, brown-haired furbolg. If you know what a furbolg is, it's sort of like a half giant with little cool, like little cute, little like sheepish ears. I'll go ahead and post a picture of these two individuals, and they're just drinking, having a good time. But they definitely look like they're VIPs. Like they're just talking about some sort of war story or sort of adventuring and stuff like that. But they definitely don't seem like they're parts of. Well, they don't seem like they own or they're sellers here at the Flux Deluxe. So here's the dwarf, and here is the furbolg.
Alrighty.
So as you're perusing around, you still have yet to find signs of this seller until suddenly, walking out of like a random doorway as you're going through a hallway, Ox would probably be the first one. You would bump into someone. You feel something like hard and rigid, like some sort of like a barrel of iron that just you hit. And as you look down, and for Tav and for Sterling, you all look. Well, Sterling also looks down because you're rather tall as well. Tav, actually, you also look down as well, and you see this small mechanical individual laced with arcane armor. It has magical tools. I'm talking about this person's tools that are on her belt are glowing with magic. And is even though she looks like a gnome, she is completely made of metal. And for you, Sterling, you have never seen a construct that had looked so humanistic, so personified. As a warforged, as technically a construct, but not a construct, like you are a living creature, you do have very noticeable construct features. This creature looks like a robot. In my terms, it looks just like a robot. And I'll go ahead and post a picture of this person here. And she looks up at all of you and says,
Oh god.
"Oh, I'm sorry. Please excuse me. I'm just looking to gain some more items and wares to put on the shop. My apologies. I am Galahad. Welcome to my shop. If there's anything you need," and she sort of just bows her head and walks around you all, and she turns her head. She's walked away from you. If you need anything, I'll be back in the front lobby.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Sure.
What in the world, man? Hey, Sterling.
What?
That one seems I don't know, advanced.
Real quick, for you, Ox, because you are not from this world,
Uh-huh.
your temporal born nature. Go ahead and make a wisdom check for me.
Okie dokie. Wisdom check. Oh. Uh 18.
18. There is a temporal disturbance around that entity, and for you, it just means that that creature is well beyond a normal person's lifespan. This thing is old, and it's definitely not from this realm.
Home?
Steven is not with you. He's actually like at that doorway with the chain on it that's like looking because he can smell the food and booze. And so he's just like,
Steven! Steven!
Steven.
And if you stop drilling over food, you could like stand up and just like go buy some.
He can literally just like take the chain off and go through the doorway. Like it's just like this little chain on a doorway. He's just like leaning on it.
Steven!
Steven, we already ate breakfast. Are you more hungry? Yeah, we can get food when we get out of here.
I literally, Steven, come here, and I pull out my yellow chalk.
Oh yeah.
And I just, what kind do you want?
Any beer.
Okay, so I draw I don't remember what it was. It was there's a specific shape. Square.
Yeah.
Yes. So I draw a square.
On a.
I just draw it on the floor.
Okay.
I'll clean it up afterwards. But
all right, it's on the floor and it's just a little puddle, and Steven just looks at you and just like, no.
It's a container.
Ah,
We gotta.
I pull out like a tankard. I'm like, hang on. Draw another square.
Okay.
And, okay, here you go. And I just give him like, I'm gonna do a reminiscent of my time in the desert, the best ale that they had.
Okay.
That home brewed shit.
Yeah. The moonshine shit, that white lightning. Okay.
Yeah. Here you go. This'll put some hair on your ass. I mean, more
Yeah.
than you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, he already.
Yeah, he his back stiffens up a little bit, and he's just sort of now at this point. It's like sipping Scotch whiskey. He's like, ooh, okay.
You don't need to be an alcoholic
He's
to,
not. He just
Stephen.
Yeah,
wanted to
we
drink.
he already has one addiction. We don't need to give him more.
Just
I-
thirsty though.
Yeah, but there's
Well, there's
water.
water. You can drink that.
Yeah, I drank water in home. It's disgusting.
Well, that's sewer water. That's just nasty.
What's the difference?
Oh my god.
One has poop in
I
it,
pull,
the other
someone,
doesn't.
why don't you give me one of your tankards? I'll just pour some water in it. We'll let him have the good shit. See if
Yeah,
he likes
here.
that. So I take out my little flask or whatever, or my cask, and I just pour some water. Try this. This is not sewer water, and I hand it to him.
No flavor.
I throw a balm in there. There you go.
And he just shrugs his shoulder. Okay, so now he has a sippy cup of ale and then another sippy cup of
Balm water.
Vaseline. Yeah, Vaseline and water. Great.
Seems healthy.
Sorry, petroleum jelly in water. Great.
We're the best at this. So,
New parents, what do you do?
Sterling, you said you needed to come here to get your gun fixed, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's go
broken.
talk to that shockingly way beyond its time young lady that just passed us. Oh,
Yeah, that's
sorry.
probably a good
You
idea.
guys,
I feel
never
like
mind.
they.
You guys wouldn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
not quite sure what you're talking about, but
I'll tell you when we're on the boat to Afram.
all right.
Okay.
As I just approach where she is, and just see if she's like,
She's back in the main lobby, the main sort of like counter area. So like where all the magical items are. She goes behind the counter, and she's just there. You can see that she's weighing some gold coins, and she's like, It's been a while. I need to get my finances back in order."
um, is there any chance that you could fix a musket?
Hmm.
I just kind of bring out like the parts that I have, like the.
Oh, what happened to your musketeer?
Magic.
It got cursed to rust, and now it's gone. So
You can
the metal
see
needs to be replaced.
She takes out some tools from her belt set. She takes out a screwdriver and she takes out like pliers. Um, and as she touches parts of like the wooden stock and stuff like that, you can see arcane glyphs appear above it. Very small arcane glyphs in this very light whitish bluish hue. And they just like, it's sort of like data analyzing where just like you click on something and it's just like little information about the item here. It's sort of what's happening with her is that she's touching all these different segments and areas of your now pretty much busted musket. She's like, oh, this is terrible. This is a beautiful piece of work destroyed by foulness, by some sort of anomaly.
It had hands for hair.
It was a demon, so foul would be about accurate.
Ah,
On the money.
huh. Makes sense of why you're all so heavily armed and armored. You must all be adventurers too. Are you by chance freelancers?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're the sand swimmers.
Oh,
Pat penning.
We also have a boat called the Ocean Walker.
that's great. It's good to see fellow adventurers out risking their lives for loots and just adventure. I am Galahad, and I also am a freelancer, except I'm a lone freelancer that normally operates out in Gaiam and in Kosravi. I do take some contracts here in Macerna, but I mostly like to keep business here in Macerna to my smithy or my Flux Deluxe. Here I sell my wares, things that I've brought, things that I've created from the resources that I have garnered through my adventures. If you are one of the many adventurers and people and patrons here who are waiting, I apologize. It is one of the cons of my business is that I am partially a entrepreneur and blacksmith, but I'm also partially a freelancer. So I'm always about finding and obtaining my own resources and supplies when crafting my items.
Oh yeah, we understand that. It's
Yeah.
very exciting. It can be very exciting to go out there and find new stuff.
Oh yes, Anzoria, though small in the grander scheme of things, is a beautiful place, full of rife with adventure, um, and and possibilities and opportunities.
And
But
snake people and pirates
yes,
and other stuff.
a plethora of both good and evil entities. So I agree.
Yeah.
Snake people, yes. Do you speak of the Yuan T in the jungles of Vanash, or the Yuan T and their dreaded skeleton cults in the Underdark?
We
Well, there was it
Or
was a
It was a
possibly-
cult.
cult. It was a cult. It wasn't a skeleton cult necessarily.
well, there's skeletons now.
Yeah,
Could you also
Is that too soon?
Could you also be possibly referring to the fraternity of snakes and tar, a coalition of imperial ghouls and Yuan Ti fanatics who are striving to recreate a possible paradise of snakes and death?
No, they were something about some slumbering one or something.
Yeah, they wanted blood
Mer-
for him.
Murshok, their cult
Yeah.
is long dead and stagnant. They won't be getting anywhere. At least
They were
Well,
alive
they
like
definitely are now.
a couple of
a month,
a month
weeks.
ago.
It was like 2 months ago at least, right?
Yeah.
Not
Wait,
that long ago.
You
but-
found Yuan Ti here on the mainland, out beyond the jungles of Vanash?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were in
And we killed them all.
They ended up in
Afram.
Afram, but we took care of that mess.
Yeah, I stabbed
What
the
were they
snake
doing
person.
out in Afrin, if you don't mind me asking?
Running away from a temple that we invaded.
There's
Wait,
only
you-
like 2 of them there.
You found a temple out in the village of Afrin?
No, it
it's
was.
that's 3 days away from Afram, right?
I need
Yeah,
to
as
look
long
at the
as-
map.
It's somewhere on the
Was
coast.
between Afram and
Kothrabi, I think.
yeah, somewhere between there.
There's
Oh,
a
there's
cove.
a lot. There's a lot of cove. There's a couple of coves in between Afrin and Kosravi. Regardless,
one.
I will. With that information, since you are fellow freelancers, I'll probably bring that up with other freelancers and other adventurers who may take note of that. Thank you for bringing that up. That is something that needs to be taken care of. Right
Yeah,
away.
Well, if there's more and they want revenge, they can come at it.
we
I'm
probably got everyone, but better safe than sorry. So if someone escaped,
That is very good. It's a good notion. Yes, that's good thinking, young lady. But anyways,
maybe we should introduce our names. I'm Tav. This
Tav,
is Ox, and this is Sterling,
Sterling, and
and Steven, of course. You can't forget about Steven.
He's outside right now.
Oh, he's somewhere. He ran off, I think.
oh, you mean the large standing dire rat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not much of Dira anymore.
Oh, well,
Kick-ass
good for
is what he
him.
is.
Good for him. He has a second chance at a different life. That's great.
yeah, he did die and come back to life, so that's
Oh,
a second chance, you could say.
yeah. No, that sounds like a second chance to me.
Yeah.
Um,
Should we get to business?
Yes. So your rifle here, once again, Sir Sterling, a beautiful piece of work. I have seen the craftsmanship before, reminiscent, but not obviously the exact whoever made this for you. Cyber Sanctum, I believe, your Warforged creations are the Warforged creations that come from Warforged are always exquisite. Though there are very few of them nowadays. Are you looking for an entire rebuild, or are you looking for what specifically are you looking for?
I was hoping to just replace all the metal parts that got rusted away so I could have.
Well, the good news is that because of some sort of foul magic, which you all seem to be referring to, some sort of curse, probably relating to fiends, which that aligns. I can repair this for you. I can put a whole new barrel. I can put a new trigger. All the metallic parts of this rifle. if I had a schematic, I could bring it back to the exact specifications. Well, actually, it would just take a little bit more time if you would allow me to hold on to the stock and all of the other items. I can refurbish it exactly as it once was by replicating it as well. I'm a bit of an artificer myself. It's sort of how I'm able to recreate and actually also create my magical items. It will take roughly, let's see, if she goes over to a ledger, she goes and files through some pages, and she's like, I don't have the current supplies currently, or for now, that would suffice to start rebuilding. Not to mention, I already have a back order log of other orders. It will take approximately 3 weeks for supplies if I order them today. It will cost 150 gold pieces. And then once they come in, it will only take me a couple days. But like I said, I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 individuals already who are on order that I've already created invoices for. So you are will be on a waiting time. I can't say for certain how long overall it would take for your rifle to be done. I could give you a rough estimate, so do not take my word for it. Probably within 3 months, I'll have your rifle ready.
Okay. Would you happen to have any other rifles for sale that I could buy while mine's getting fixed?
I have some muskets, but understand that gunpowder weapons here in the Federation is still new. Unlike in DS, where you have three major powers such as the Rising Warforged and the Cyber Sanctum, who have created keg powder. You have the Arglevians, who use synthetic artificial magical gunpowder. And then you have the Infernal Sisterhood. I think they're called the Sisterhood of Inferni in Isatia, who have crafted devilish infernal gunpowder using the ashes from the Nine Hells. Um, it's still relatively new technology here in the Federation. If you have noticed, most people in the army or in the Federation army still use crossbows and longbows. Though still accurate and reliable weapons, they're not as powerful and not as fancy, I guess you'd say. I do have one in particular, since you are a fellow adventurer, and I see that you have an eye for exquisite taste in weaponry. How about we make a deal? I don't want any of my patrons to go out there without being armed and able to protect themselves. I can offer you in the time that I have to recreate and rebuild your rifle. How about I offer you a loan? I have a currently fresh prototype of a musket that I'm trying to create and trying to furnish and create a market here in the Federation. If you take it, I want you to take it, first of all, so you can protect yourself, but also go out in the world and tell people of my wares, tell them and showcase them, sort of advertise my shop. I think that's a very viable exchange, unless you would rather not be a advertisement.
No, I don't mind.
Mind? Sounds good. He goes into the back. You see that there is a door behind her counter. She just opens the door. As she opens the door, she sort of knocks 3 times, and an arcane circle appears where she knocks, and she sort of turns it like a dial. And the door opens. Um, he walks inside, closes the door, and she comes out with an exquisite musket. Go ahead and pop a picture real quick of what it looks like. It's very American. Right. So she comes out with this and she puts it on the counter. You said,
Ooh.
"This is my second Mark II version of the Flux Deluxe musket." Now, I did do a little bit of inquiry on your remnants of your musket, though the Cyber Sanctum has a very volatile composition of gunpowder, which is by no means a terrible thing. It's quite frankly a very powerful and quite eye-catching appeal to it. My muskets are a little bit more, how should I say it? Not as explosive, though I do have some amazing modifications to this. You can see here that the lumber is made from the finest sleek wood, and I have gracefully magically varnished it. So the wood is basically nigh deteriorable. Durable stainless mithril from the mines of the Mithril Kingdoms. I have magical paints here, and she lifts the rifle, and you can see that there is like iron sights, but it's glowing. And she's like, I've added what is called a glowing iron sight to the barrel top of the musket to allow for better accuracy at medium range from targets. And she flips the bottom of the rifle where you would normally hold it. There is this beautiful slip resistant foregrip underneath this rifle. And she's like, this is the rough hides of the dreaded Venashi crocodiles. Very thick yet smooth alligator skin to make sure that when you're in combat, the rifle does not slip off most solvent liquids. So I'll go ahead and give you the stats on this rifle. Like I said, it is free of charge, and you can use musket bullets from Exandria, so you don't have to worry about ammunition there.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and give you the stats on this set. Please do take care of it, though it is very durable, so I think you'll handle yourself. You seem like you have an eye for marksmanship, but do enjoy, and please spread the name of Galahard's Flux Deluxe if you can. And I will have your rifle ready and finished within 3 months, starting next week.
All right. Sounds good.
There's the stats on this.
Ox during this entire thing where she's going on about this rifle, because it's not something he would use, he's just kind of gotten bored, stopped listening, and just started looking around. Looking for Steven, making sure he's not doing something dumb.
He probably is.
So I'll go ahead and you can actually add it to your inventory in your character sheet, Dapper. It's already been added to D&D Beyond. All right. With that in mind, so Sterling, was there anything else that you would like to? And she sort of gestures at the cabinets and magical. Oh, and she gestures to you two as well. Sarata, was there any other things that you were looking for here at my shop?
I use what you call smash 'em weapons. I'm not good with distance. I mean, I throw axes, but not very often.
He gestures above, and there's a rack with this beautiful partisan spear. It's magical, obviously. And she says, "Don't worry. I also get up close and personal when my firearms also fail me."
I
I see that you have a beautiful tall war on your back. Is that the type of weaponry that you normally utilize, or?
Well, this has been like a stand-in replacement for my axe. I lost my great axe at the same time he lost bits of his things. Not to the extent he did, but they tarnished it. It's crap, so I threw it on the ground and left it there. So
sad, but understandable.
So I don't know. I mean, I like great axes. I like great swords. This is really just like it's real quick. So in a pinch when I'm like I gotta finish this quick, I pull it out. But I prefer bigger weapons.
That's not a problem.
Two hands.
I am an artisan of all weapons of destruction. Um, Are you specifically looking for great axes and great weapons? So nothing like long swords, spears, clubs? Are you a club
I'm
person or
looking for great weapons because I like the
anything great?
versatility. So like if I really need to lay the smack down, I want to use
Okay,
two hands. But if I gotta be quick and end it, I already got that bad boy on my back. So really
of course,
just something to facilitate the the work that we do
of
when
course,
necessary.
of course. I have a decent selection of very large or heavier weapons that are magical. I also have a grand selection of mundane weapons as well. So if all the magical items that I have for you are not to your liking, I can have you look and peruse the normal ways if you are so inclined.
Certainly. What do you have in the magical selection? I mean,
So
I've admittedly currently limited funds with my venture in getting a ship set up, but I have access to vast wealth and may keep it in mind for future. So,
sure. She goes and actually walks around the counter, and she sort of guides you to some of the display cases. And the first one up is this sort of mundane looking club that appears old and fragile. But it's in one of these gold glass cases, and it is amongst many magical items. She turns to you and says, though this club seems mundane and old and decrepit, it is actually quite a powerful club wielded by an adventurer in DS a long, long time ago, who gifted it to me before his death. Now, he died of old age, thankfully, but he was an adventurer for over 300 years. This is called the Herculean Club. I will tell you right now that if you possess a strength of 18 or higher, once per turn, when you successfully hit a creature of size huge or smaller, that creature must make a strength saving throw, DC 17, or be knocked prone and pushed 10 feet away from you. But it is a magical club as well.
Hmm. So I'm kind of a jack of a couple of trades. Unfortunately, I don't think I'd be able to effectively wield this.
Okay. I also have. I have a War Axe of Slaughter. And you can see that there is a great axe with gnarled teeth, like razor edge, with a razor edge, but it's in the shape of like a demon's like mouth and
Hmm.
teeth. Um, when you reduce a creature's hit points to 0 with this War Axe, you may use a bonus action to move up to your speed towards another hostile creature.
Hmm. That is tasty.
Yep.
Hmm.
It's also considered a +1 great axe.
Hmm. It's a great axe.
Mhm.
So what's the going rate on this thing?
800 gold pieces.
Hmm.
Much less than I was expecting.
Does require attunement.
Okay.
How much do you have,
Well,
Alex?
I have to go to the bank. I've got 500. Plus the my pittance that I carry on me as not to you know attract the thieves. Um,
I could lend a little money for you to buy it now, so you don't have to head over to the bank.
okay,
Yeah, I
and
can lend you a little
I'll
too.
transfer the other bit either to you directly or to your account, whichever you prefer.
Uh, probably is my account because
Sweet. Uh, I'll keep this one in mind. Is there anything else? I do like this. This is pretty.
Other than that, I unfortunately did sell quite a bit of my heavy weaponry magically, my magical heavy weaponry earlier this morning. Very early this morning, actually. But I do have a couple more that I plan on finishing up this week, and then I know by the end of the month I'll have at least 18 in the shop ready for perusal or for sale.
Okay, sweet. Well, this seems like it's a good replacement for now. And then maybe I'll come back and peruse for future things. Because, quite frankly, the stuff you have here is better than the stuff I saw over in Kosaravi, mostly by utilitarian and price point. So, uh, uh, if you two wouldn't mind, I would appreciate the help now.
how much do you need?
Yeah. Yeah, how much?
I've got five. Well, actually, I think I have. What's my inventory? I've got 76 gold on me.
You need,
76. So we both need to give you 400 to pay for it.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I
All
can
right.
give you. I have a lot of gold right now.
Yeah, I'm
I,
holding all my gold right now, so it's
Sweet.
yeah.
400 for mine.
Ooh.
There you go.
Thank you, guys and gal, guy and gal. I'm I'm gonna go look at this for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. First, do you have any crappy little handguns for sale?
Crappy, like a gun is
She
crappy.
she doesn't her overall features on her face, it is one a little bit disturbing, as though she's like a mannequin with her iron casing face, but it moves so fluidly like flesh. But she doesn't give you any indication that she was upset by that notion.
Yeah.
But I'll give you a passive insight and say that she did not like that comment whatsoever.
It was
Let's
not.
not let's
It
not call
was
the
not.
weapons we're buying from this lady
Yeah.
crappy, if
It's not
possible.
that I want it to be crap. It's just it's for training purposes. It's not for fighting. It's just to train for to see if I like it
She
more or
looks
less.
at she looks at you, with a straight face. She says, "I understand your intent on asking such a request. but I deal in war gear that are ready for action, ready for the field. I do not offer training materials. If you are inclined to find such things, I would suggest you go to a smith, a normal mundane smith for those things. Secondly, I do not, as I told your companion here, firearms are a rarity here in the Federation. Very few people, including myself, have access to not only the materials to make it, including the blueprints, but the gunpowder itself. Um, and though I do have been recently wrapping up my production and my processes and developing such weapons, it still takes a little bit of time. So unfortunately, even if I did have the resources to offer you such a thing, I would not partake in that kind of business regardless, because it is too expensive to offer weapons of such power and value for training purposes.
Yeah.
The military would have the budget to fund such ventures, but fortunately, us entrepreneurs do not have the luxury for that.
Yeah,
Mm.
I understand. It was just a shot in the dark, as you would say.
Maybe do you have a perhaps on the less expensive side handgun? Perhaps that is what Tav was
I,
asking.
well, I don't think they have any handgun at
Any
all.
handgun at all.
They don't
Oh,
have any
okay.
firearm. The firearm I got was like the one they
Sorry.
have
The
right now, I
muskets,
think.
the musket that I get that I'm allowing your companion Sterling to carry for me is my prototype, as I stated before.
Oh, sorry. I was
Yeah.
engrossed in this axe.
Yeah, but that's all for me. But I will just need to ask Steven if he needs anything.
Well, I can give like Steven like a dagger. He has a. I feel like maybe we
Yeah,
should
but I
work up to magic weapons before we give him.
yeah, maybe not. You had other things than magic weapons, like
Sure. I have an entire army of mundane weapons over in the other room. If you'd
yeah.
like to peruse.
So,
Do you have any magical like light weapons like daggers or short swords?
I do actually. I'll go ahead and showcase them to you now.
yeah.
Ox, the war axe is indeed Beyond, just let you know.
Okay, because I was looking and I was like, So I'll get that.
Just refresh your browser.
Oh, okay. Do 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 do.
For you, Sterling, she in the magical side, she's gonna go ahead and the first thing right off the bat is you're just looking for short swords and daggers.
Yeah, like light weapons like that. Ones I can hold with like one hand.
So that that includes hand
Yeah, like
axes,
scimitars,
scimitars,
rapiers, things like that.
quite a many. Okay. So she
Preferably a
goes.
short sword or dagger.
Okay, preferably a short sword or dagger. Okay. So she goes and shows you a short sword. She tells you, this is called the Sword of Thievery. And you can see this is black steel blade. She tells you that it once belonged to a halfling with the tongue of a con man and the skills of a master thief named Two Finger Mick. He's also a retired adventurer. You basically gain +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. Basically, it's a +1 short sword. Not to mention, while you're attuned to it, you and have it on your person as an action, you can grant yourself double proficiency bonus on dexterity sleight of hand checks for 1 minute. Once you use this ability, you can't use it again, so you finish a long rest.
I do like stealing.
I'm just gonna tell you, we should totally get this for Stephen.
So that's that short sword. And then she has another short sword. It's called the Dragon's Gift. And I'll go ahead and show you a quick picture of what that looks like. Back here into images and miscellaneous. This is called the Dragon's Gift. It's a 1d6 +2 piercing, so it's a +2 short sword. It has this ability while tuned, you have advantage on all saving throws against breath weapons from draconic creatures. It has this good and bad. It has this favorable yet unfavorable magical ability around it. When you score a critical hit with this weapon against a creature, you gain resistance to all damage types that creature is resistant to. If the creature is immune to damage types, you also gain resistance to those damage types instead. If a creature is vulnerable to any damage types, you also gain those vulnerabilities of those said damage types. These effects last until the start of your next turn. You can gain these effects up to 2 times per long rest.
Be carefully deal with this.
And then I think another short sword. This is called the Assassin Spatha. If you don't know what a spatha is, it's more like a rounded, broad short sword. It's almost like a gladius but longer. But it's still technically a short sword. Um, in the hands of any character, it's a +2 weapon. When you attempt a sneak attack with this short sword, your attack as if you attack as if you were 4 levels higher than your actual experience level in terms of sneak attack damage. So it is sort of catered to rogues, or it honestly is catered to rogues, which is pretty dirty if you think about it. So if you're only like a level 4 rogue and you're only dishing out 3d6 sneak attacks, that's 4 extras up. That's another 2d6. That's 5d6 at level 4 sneak attack damage, which is pretty dirty.
Wow.
I was thinking a little bit about multi-classing into rogue. I wasn't sure.
That would be nice.
Kill a guy shooting people for sneak attack.
And then she has a dagger. It's called a Defiant Dagger. It's broad bladed and polished to a mere finish. It's a +1 dagger, and you gain advantage to saving throws to avoid fear effects. And other than that, that's all for the short sword and daggers.
Do I have to attune to the dagger?
The dagger does require attunement.
How much is the thief one? The thief short sword.
The Sword of Thievery is 1650 gold pieces.
That one also requires attunement.
It also requires attunement.
And how much is the dagger as well?
The dagger is 1,000.
I can only buy one.
I love how you both are like, oh, I have to pick one or the other, and I'm like, I don't even have any money.
I think I'll go with the short sword, the thievery.
Sword of Thievery? Very well. I'll give you the stats on that. Okay.
The 1,650.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it for me. Unless I guess if someone wants to go in with me to get something for Steven eventually.
I've
But-
got extra stuff. I can give him. I've got javelins and hand axes that he can start with.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
want to just buy like a mundane short sword as well. So actually
Mundane
two
short
mun-
sword?
yeah,
Okay,
two mundane
yeah.
short swords.
2 mundane short swords? Okay, give me a
Okay.
second.
Oh, we're gonna teach him two-handed fighting. None of us know how to do
Well,
that.
actually, I do know how to do two-handed fighting.
Oh,
All right,
never
so
mind.
each are going to cost you 13 gold pieces each.
All right, so 27.
That is quite the price decrease.
Um,
So as they're perusing, I walk up to I've already forgotten her name.
Galahard.
Excuse me,
Yellow.
Galahard. I've got a question for you, and I please don't take this the wrong way. Where are you from?
Oh, no offense. People come to me all the time asking what I am and where I'm from. I am a construct, but I am called, or I am referred to, at least from my work, or my creator told me, I am an autonome. I am a construct created in the exact same visage of my creator, who looked similar like this, though obviously I added my own hair coloring and variations over the years, over the centuries. But no, I'm not. I'm not from here. I'm not even from this world. I traveled with my creator on a magical ship called a Spelljammer, sailing through the night space, visiting other worlds for 1,000 years, until eventually my master could live no longer, and I decided to stay upon this world of Anzoria. Though I could have left with my master's Spelljammer, I decided to stay because I enjoyed the companies of the people here and the world itself. Though my original friends are long dead now, I seem to just cannot shake this tether that it has on me, and I have decided to stay. until I can no longer work and function no longer.
That's crazy because you are definitely an anomaly. I can sense it. Um,
I no doubt those tattoos that you have, those are very familiar across the night space. You are also not from this world.
no, I'm trying to. I say trying to save up money to get back. I know where the gate is. I just it's on the other side of the world. So eventually, after I've built myself up a little bit, I plan on going back. I don't know about this tattoo. It was it's more of a brand, really. I don't know. It was given to me before I was thrown here, and I don't know why.
It's quite perplexing, honestly. That brand or tattoo is called the Nullwalker's brand. And normally, agencies and factions of the temporal frequency are normally the ones that utilize such methods to restrain certain individuals. But it also, from my personal experience in witnessing many worlds utilizing that brand, use it for very dangerous individuals, prisoners even. When did you receive such branding, if
I
you don't
was
mind me asking?
10. I
Oh,
don't know. I got woken up in the
there,
middle of the night, and
there
they
must.
threw that on
Mhm.
me and threw me through a portal.
I'm so sorry that you had to go through such trials. It is definitely an unorthodox situation, but there must have been some reason for you to have such a thing. You have knowledge of your home, it seems, though you were taken from a young age. I'm assuming you are inclined to still return there.
Yes, absolutely. I plan on going back to the first gate at my first opportunity. I
Do you
mean,
understand how to break the brand then?
it, what?
Do you understand how to break the brand?
I
The brand?
I just thought it was a brand. I didn't know what it did.
Yes. That brand binds you to this plane. You cannot leave. Even if you find the first gate, you will not leave this place unless that brand is removed.
Oh shit. Well, I guess I'm gonna be here for a while. I need to go be by myself for a minute.
Hold on, Derox. I am also from a new world, and though there was a time in my life that I wanted to return, I understand that you also want to return as well, and I want to help you.
Oh,
I
oh,
understand how it feels to not be a part of this world. Like you may have grown up here for quite some time, but there is always something that reminds you that you are not from here. And honestly, you actually have that, a physical reminder that you are not from here, that you sometimes don't belong here, which is a terrible feeling.
that's why I
Something
cover
that
it up.
might, yeah, well, I can actually see it through your tunic. Uh, and she
That
sort of
is
taps, taps her monocle eyes. Don't worry. There's nothing else that I can see underneath your clothing, if that's what you're asking.
okay.
Nor do I have any inclination to. Anyways,
Fair.
um, there is a way to break the branding. It does require a very powerful remove curse spell. However, it's not just a powerful remove curse spell at the highest level as known in this world. You're going to need a powerful ritual of the spell. And unfortunately, we don't live in a very normal world. Anzoria is a very chaotic world. The magic here actually fluctuates. The priests and those who study magic itself call it the winds of magic. Magic in certain areas of the world are far stronger, and some in the areas of the world are far weaker. Sometimes magic is non existent in parts of the world here in Anzoria. Until we find the actual ritual spell itself, and we find a suitable location where magic is pungent enough, saturated enough that it will help funnel and break the powerful curse. Unfortunately, I call it a curse because I see it as such. I've only seen individuals that have that brand to be terrible people or people who are forced to have such a curse to remain in a world that is not theirs. Um, we will have to find those ingredients. I don't know if you noticed, but there are a few individuals in my salon, three adventurers from the Arbites Guild, a dwarf, a furbolg, and a Githyanki. Um, all three of them are my pupils. I've been adventuring them for quite some time now, but they may be able to help in locating the ritual that will be required to break such a curse. It may take some time, and it may be quite dangerous, but I believe my pupil over there, and by pupil, I don't know if you could tell, she sort of like gestures at her colored hair, and to all three of you, you're like, oh, it's probably the dwarf.
Just dwarf, yeah.
Yeah.
Over there.
I believe that Gabbard and Morjor and Dane, along with Zislin, when she returns from her escapades, will be able to help you in freeing you from that dreadful, dreadful branding and allow you to return home.
Oh man, that's pretty good news at the same time as some pretty terrible news.
I understand there's a lot to take in, and I don't want to get your hopes up, but I do want to offer you a little bit of actual hope that it is possible. I've seen it. I never thought I would find another individual who would have this branding on this world. We're so far away from those worlds. I'm quite dumbfounded that a person such as yourself with that branding exists this far out in the night space.
Well, my life so far has been quite the show, so why not add on to it a freaking curse? Guys, this has been super enlightening. I think I'm gonna go take care of that bank business. Thank you for the insight. I'll probably be back to talk to them later. Obviously, when I've had time to process this.
Of course.
Uh, okay, I'll meet you guys at that place. Was it the Scar Inn or whatever?
The running star?
Yeah, the running star thing. I'll wait
Star.
outside for you. I'm gonna go talk to George and see if we may have the ship set up for whenever we're ready to leave.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
I walk out. I'm gonna go take care of the bank thing. I'm gonna split the money I have in there between their two accounts, and then I'm gonna go meet George. So
Okay.
Well,
Sounds good.
that was weird.
No,
Yeah.
if you can give my apologies to Young Ox. It must have been. I did not expect for any creature, especially a creature his age, to have such a binding on him. So that's on me. That's my fault. I should have been more understanding of his situation. I should have understood a little bit more, read the situation, but I still not very good at it. Even after 2 ages, I'm still not good at understanding social cues.
Well, I'm sure he appreciates knowing a little bit more about himself now. So, wouldn't,
I,
you know, take it too hard.
No, give him time. He needs things to process things. I'm sure he's made a lot of friends. He's made a lot of relationships and connections here in this world. It's not too hard. It's not easy to just sever them, even though you're not from here. Those connections are real. At least that's what my master told me, or my creator.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's a little weird that he is from another world,
Yeah, it's the first
plane.
time we're hearing of this.
I can understand that for people who only who are only restricted to the crystal sphere that is Anzoria within inside its borders. You both understand there are other dimensions, other coexisting planes around Anzoria, such as the elemental plane of fire, the inner planes, the elemental plane of wind. Then there are terrible places where some creatures come from, like demons and fiends and aberrations from other worlds. But there is a far bigger territory outside Anzoria. There are other worlds just like this, different in some of the slightest, some of the most extravagant, some of the most sinister. And the only thing dividing each of them is this wide, unknown, quiet vacuum of darkness. And she points up to the sky, just when the sky turns dark and you can see the lights glowing in the distance, that is called night space. And though people do not realize it, it is traversable, but it is infinite, and it takes so long to get from one world to another. Portals can't cover that much distances. It's not some. There are a few, but for the most part, you will have to take the journey head on. That is what I did. Well, my creator did when she left her home, her worlds. Gosh, a millennia ago now? It's been so long since she's passed away.
Oh my god.
Hmm.
Well,
Anyways.
yeah, we will find a way to help him deal with whatever stuff he wants to do. And
Yes, if you all return sometime, maybe in the next few months, especially maybe when you return once your rifle's completed to Sterling, maybe my pupil over here, once I get him to stop drinking, eating his life away, maybe he'll have some good news for your companion in regards to figuring out how to break that vile binding on him.
yeah, well,
Sounds good.
Was there anything else that you wanted to peruse here? I have armor for your furry friend here. She sort of like pinches his like love handles, and he was just like
yeah, he
Look,
could use some armor. I don't want
I'll
him
go on.
to.
I'll go in on it with you if you want to get some armor for him.
Yeah, put some armor on him, a cloak maybe with a hood, so if he wants to hide a little
They can
and
be a
don't
rogue.
something like that, or just stuff like that. That would be great.
Now, for those two short swords that you bought for, I would assume your companion here, I know that you're going to be training them. I can upgrade those weapons to make them a little more, give them a little more edge. I can sharpen them. I can make them silver. I can give them abilities to increase its cutting damage, its slashing damage, its piercing damage. I can even make them magical by some means. Um, and I can even make them a little more stronger, more durable. I can even make them masterwork, which is basically a +3 weapon, magical weapon. If you have the gold and are willing to dispense the gold now or later, or you can always come back. But I have the means of enhancing all mundane weapons of that nature, along with your armor. So if you're looking for armor, I do have leather, and I can upgrade some of the leather, and there are options for that as well. Were you interested?
Hmm. Do you want to buy armor for Steven, or do you want to upgrade the swords?
I think we will start with armor, just because I have. I don't want to see him get
I mean,
decapitated
he
again.
can like break his neck whenever he wants, and he's fine.
Yeah, but still, that's
All right, you're right. Let's get some armor. If we have some extra, we can upgrade his stuff.
Sure.
yeah,
I'm assuming you are looking to keep it light, to keep him on his feet. He is
yeah,
very muscular. I'm not sure. I'm assuming he is nimble and agile.
yeah. Yes. So some light armor.
Some light armor. We're looking for padded leather, just normal leather, hide maybe, or studded leather.
Um, hmm. Yeah, I think it's up to you, Tav, because
He's my baby.
yeah, he's yours. So I'll let you take care of this.
Let's just go with. Let's see here. We can go with regular leather to begin with, and then we'll see how we do with that.
Sure. I have regular leather here for 12 gold pieces. I have a fine set that can actually easily fit your friend here, and I can do some things to it called armor proofing. Armor proofing means that I can increase its durability. For example, if you get first tier armor proofing on this leather armor, while wearing this armor, if you would take 6 or less non-magical slashing damage before resistances of any are applied, you take nothing.
Ooh.
And then it upgrades further and further up to 3rd level. And that includes at 2nd tier, it's slashing and piercing, and then at 3rd tier, it's slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning. So anything of those mundane types of weapon damages, and if he takes only 8 damage or less, nothing happens. Nothing even penetrates the armor.
Wow.
I can make it breathable, so you have advantage on saving throws against exhaustion effects due to extreme heat. I can attach climbing harnesses to it, and I can do that to your war gear as well. I can make it insulated. I can add locking joints to plate armor. I can make your armor muffled. Well, mostly medium armor, so it's quiet, so you can sneak with medium armor. I can reinforce it. I can put quick release claps for climbing, or also reattaching and attaching armor, or donning your armor far quicker. I can add spikes. I can add protrusions. I can do lots of things.
Well, this is a lot of options.
Yes.
A lot
so anyways,
of quick options.
Leather armor, 12 gold pieces. And think about it, I will be here for quite some time.
Okay, that's great. Because we might be making even more money soon. So
Perfect.
we might be here again with a lot of orders for stuff. So right
Brand
now,
new.
just the swords, the leather, maybe how long does it take to make it breathable? He has a lot of fur. I'm kind of worried about that.
Let's see. The breathable will only probably take 2 days. And I actually have no orders for armor currently, so I can do it right away today.
So do we want to wait 2 days before we do our mission?
We don't really have time to wait. We have already waited a long while on that.
Then maybe we put in an order for it and then we just come back for it after we do the mission.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Do you want me to hang on to the leather armor and start the work, and then once you return, I can have it for you?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Just a cloak, I would say, if he wants to cover himself up a little.
Sure. I do have quite the variety of colored cloaks over on that wall over there. So whatever color you're choosing.
What color would fit Steven the best?
So in total, the overall cost is going to cost you 112 gold.
Yeah, I can fix that. 112.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh.
And then whatever color cloak you want, go ahead and grab for him. She'll sell it to you for 5 coppers.
Okay, that's
they are quite durable, so it's not like cheap like linens. They're traveling cloaks, but she'll sell it to you for a cheap rate just because it seems like you'll be few long-time customers at her establishment. So she wants to put in a good first impression.
I'm actually gonna buy another short sword. I'm thinking right now I want to also be able to dual wield.
Okay, so that's going to be 13 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go with like a dark blue maroon color.
A dark maroon color.
Oh no, wait. I think I'm a dark blue. I mean,
dark blue. Okay.
Maroon is something else that I was thinking about. That.
Yeah, I was like, okay. Stark contrast, even though I'm partially colorblind, so but I can tell the dark contrast between maroon and
navy. Is it
navy?
That
navy's good. Would you like a navy one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Fits, I would think.
Yeah, it does fit his overall complexion. I like it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. It fits perfectly. It does obviously leave like his tail lobe and his bottom exposed because he's walking on hind legs, but it covers the majority of his body along with a little hood.
Yeah.
So Steven doesn't like the hood.
Yeah, I would think that. But if we need to hide him a little, that's a good way.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you very much for the business and the stuff and the information and everything. And have a great day.
You as well. Sand swimmers, was it?
The sand swimmers.
I'll remember that.
I'll make sure to spread the word of Galahad at the Flux Lux.
Please do, and enjoy that rifle. I promise you, it will protect you.
Thank you again.
But not your enemies.
I like it.
Okay, sounds good. So where to next? Actually, Ox, you head to the bank. You talk to George and stuff like that.
Yep. So I'm just so the bank. I'm just going in there real quick to divvy out the gold and put it in their accounts, half and half. I'll finish paying them the rest once we get these trinkets sold.
So how much were you dispensing to each of them?
How much did I have in there? I had like 500 or 600 gold. So
you had 500. Yeah, you have 598. So you can just spend. I'll just say you have 600. It's fine. The bank will be like, well, we'll take a little bit. It's cool.
No, I'll just subtract it from my current total because I've got some gold there.
So you give
-2.
Okay. Gotcha.
So 300 in each account.
Yep. I got you.
And then with George, I'm letting him know that we're going to be heading out soon, and we wanted to use the ship. Obviously, with his help, it'd be good for training the new folks up, as well as having the benefit of at least us who know the tiny bit about running the ship, so that we can get to Afram quicker once we meet up with our contact.
Sure. Yeah. George acknowledges it. He gets his, I believe I said 8 handpicked from the dojo. They already are at the ship, so if you go to the docks, they've just been repairing the ship. The overall costs, he tells you, alone, like initial cost of repairs. He has found friends that he's taken loans from, but they will require payments eventually.
Yeah.
There's no actual timetable. I'm not going to give you one, but there
Okay.
you will have a loan right now. It's at 150 gold pieces, and then he's going to need supplies for fresh reserve mast sails,
Hmm.
lumber, extra tools and nails and such and stuff like that. You're going to need barrels of water in here and food storage because there is none.
Hmm.
So you're going to have to build those. And pretty much in total of the stuff that's required to make the ship like truly seaworthy, so that all you need to do is just go on shore, get supplies, and blah blah blah.
Hmm.
It's going to be 300 gold pieces. So in total, it's going to be 450 gold pieces to get this thing to where George believes is at its best peak efficiency.
Sweet. We need to find Husu.
That's 300 gold.
I have about enough to pay for it if we ever need to.
If we ever hit dire straits and we absolutely
Yeah,
have to pay it now.
I do have
Yeah.
enough in reserve to pay for it.
So the only thing that's on loan is the 150. The 350 is for what George would deem to be prime additions to the ship. So the old that shit is not on the ship yet. It's not necessary yet. But if we go on a long journey
Hmm.
across the ocean or some shit, those would probably be required. So that 300 gold, you don't need to pay that. The 150 is loan. So yeah, you'll need to pay the 150 eventually.
I will say that I will pay for it because I don't want the thing that happened earlier to happen again. So I will pay 450 right now. So
Okay.
that's done and
Okay.
fixed.
Sounds good.
Sweet.
All right. That all those additions will take some time to build though. So
Right.
I just
Yeah,
will let you
but-
know. So whenever you guys go on a big journey, it'll be done by then. So
Right.
Sweet.
Perfect. So let's meet our contact at the Running Star.
I'll just be sitting out front for however long, just, taking my time, looking at the axe, trying to attune to it, which probably isn't going to get done until we actually start this journey, but whatever.
no, I can tell you if you want to take an hour to do that whole event of going to the bank and getting the money back in the bank, stuff like that. I'll say it takes an hour. It's fine. You can tune to it. Same thing with you, Sterling, if you want to tune your Sword of Thievery.
Yeah.
It is on D&D Beyond if you just want to refresh D&D Beyond.
Um,
All right. Yeah, what's up?
Before we go, can I say I wanted to buy a few things really quickly from the market.
Yeah, that's fine.
I wanted to get thieves tools, like 2 sets of dice and some playing cards.
All right. Let me get my spreadsheet. Spreadsheet. That's not the spreadsheet I want. Where is the spreadsheet that has all the stuff in the city at that cost? There it is. Okay. So we'll start off with thieves tools. You want to get some thieves tools?
Yeah.
Okay. This tab here. So you can find a set of thieves tools. You find a set of thieves tools. The person is selling it for 45 gold pieces. I'm sorry. For 24 gold pieces.
I know that's like decent price for these.
What's your? Go ahead and make an intelligence check real quick.
It's a 7.
You think it's relatively mean? It's like actually it's quite a nice looking thief set. It's like brand new.
All right. How much did you say?
24.
All right.
All right. And then you want to buy some dice sets, you said?
Yeah.
Dice sets you can buy for 10 coppers each. Okay. And then what was the last one you wanted? Deck cards.
Yeah, deck cards.
Playing card set, you can find one for 30 copper pieces.
All right. That's what.
10 coppers per 100 coppers for 1 silver, 1,000 coppers for gold.
100 coppers per silver.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll just take out 1 silver.
Okay, that's
Make it
fine.
easy.
Okay. Cool.
No, that'll be it.
All right. Right. Does anyone else want to buy anything and stuff like that?
I want to buy a little bag with healing bombs for Steven.
Little bag. Okay. So a pouch is gonna run you 1 silver.
Yeah.
And then how many healing bombs do you want? The pouch is gonna hold 20 healing bombs.
Yeah, that's
Okay. So it's 20 coppers, so it's 2 silver
20.
pieces. Or no, way less than a silver piece.
Let's. I have a lot of copper.
Yeah. 20
Done.
coppers. All right, done.
20
Cool.
coppers.
So yeah, you attach it. You have like this makeshift belt on Steven. You attach it, and Steven's just like, I want to eat all of it now.
You need to ration because that's what you get for a day.
What's rationalizing?
That's if you eat everything now, you won't have any later. So you need to ration it to have for the whole day. That's what ration. Do you understand, Stephen?
I think I understand rational thinking.
Perfect. So okay.
He takes one now.
Good.
What? Ox said quick snacks.
Yeah. And then you wait. Now you wait a little bit. Maybe
as you say that, he's like, "Oh, wait, that's right.
you
Rational
wait.
thinking."
Yes.
This is my favorite.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
the only thing I wanted to do before I went there with the other stuff is just making sure that I'm topped up on my rations and my water and my cask.
The refilling of your full cask is going to run you 20 coppers.
Okay.
That's topped off, and then food. How much rations are you looking to buy?
Let me see how much I have. Probably none. So, and as we know, I'm not super picky, so I'm just gonna get literally whatever.
Literally ever. So 2 coppers per ration.
All right, I'm gonna grab 10 days because you know.
Of course. Ted, did you want to get some rations on top of your water or no?
Top off my water.
How
It
much did you
says
have?
I have a keg with 72 uses.
Oh, then you're full still. Then.
It was 24. I just
Oh, okay. Okay, so 20 coppers, man.
yeah, 20 copper. Yeah, I fixed that already.
Okay.
And I have 10 rations.
Okay.
So
You want to stick with that?
yeah, I don't think I will need that right now.
Okay.
I'm going to
Sounds
another
good.
city, so I have pretty many healing bombs.
Yeah, you definitely all still have a lot of healing bombs. All right.
I have so many.
I'm good.
Did you want to see Alawi real quick or no? To top off on healing bombs.
I have a
to-
ton of healing bombs. I have a bunch of potions still as well.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like Tav and Sterling still have a bunch of healing potions.
I have 250. So I have a lot.
Okay, sounds good. So you guys want to make your way to the running star then finally?
Yep. Hey, I just want to confirm that I got my potion of superior healing back from Tab.
Oh yeah, you can
because you
take
didn't
that.
end up using it.
Yeah.
And then I have 1 potion of mana. I don't think I need anything else. I've got 27 healing bombs. So
Only 27?
that's fair. I'm gonna get myself up to
Like,
60 of them.
Yeah, 60 copper pieces.
All right.
Yeah, that's better. Have like 6 potions of healing, so I think I'm good.
yeah, 4 potions healing, 1 of greater as well.
All right. Sounds good. You all ready to head over to the running star?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So you make your way to the running star through the still crowded and bustling streets of Macerna. It's around noon at this point. Several hours have passed since you all had conducted business at the Flux Deluxe and had done a lot of banking transactions and bought some supplies at the Bazaar Canals. Um, as you make your way to the Running Star is this 3-story sort of 3-story building. You can definitely tell that the building actually I should probably look at what it actually looks like. Is that what it looks like? No, I was right. So as you arrive and turn the corner, the Running Star is one of the most noticeable buildings in all of Macerna. You see before you this building is built within the body of an air frigate, a very large ship. And when I say air frigate, you can actually see the sails that sort of stick outwards. But obviously the masts have been retracted in. But you can definitely tell that this once was a airworthy air frigate. It was converted into a tavern, and it, like I said, is one of the most popular taverns in the city of Macerna. You see that there's an outdoor area outside, sort of slightly fenced in. You see several Triton and water ganassies as servants, or not servants, as waiters and barmaids outside serving drinks of seafood. You can see nice little bubbly sprites of salt vodka, and their famous snack of all, salted caramel pecan turtles, little chocolate salt pecan turtles shaped like turtles. Um, it's the only tavern that's open 24/7. And it also houses a brothel in the basement, as you see that there's a little stairway that leads down as well. So you're in front of this very extravagant, very lively establishment.
Well, looks like we gotta go meet a contact and tell him we got a ship to get there to take the whatever the hell it is we're doing. I have already forgotten.
Do you think the ship will be good enough right now to
Yeah,
go to this
I've
city
already
we
talked
need
to
to go to?
George. He said it's good to go for this, and there'll be upgrades for later if we ever plan on going like across the sea or whatever. But that's it should be good for now.
Yeah. Well, it only takes like a day or something to get to Atham. I think it was
Yeah,
something like that.
by ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we need to talk to who the fuck is it?
Uh,
Desant, I think.
yeah,
Desant.
Desant.
Yeah, so let's find this Desant and get on the way. We have spent a lot of time doing absolutely everything else.
So as you asked one of the, oh yeah, sorry, was it?
Oh,
Sorry,
we're looking for a lizard folk named Desant.
Oh yeah.
So if you ask one of the barmaids nearby, or sort of waiters, they tell you that if you're looking for the inn section of this tavern slash inn slash brothel, they tell you to go around the other side. So you leave the open patio area of where the food and bar is, and you go around. You go past the little brothel entrance, and on the other side you see the entrance to the inn. But as you turn the corner to go into the front entrance of this inn, you are automatically met with this large, muddy, dry construct. It looks like an elephant, but it's not an elephant. It doesn't even have an elephant head. It doesn't even look like it has a head. It has like this giant turtle shell for a head. Um, so I'll go and quickly describe. You see this strange construct outside. Its flesh is consisting of dry mud with large, light-colored rocks, sort of shoved in together to create joints where the shoulders are, the knees are, the neck. The neck and overall head is concealed underneath this heavy sheet, but as you can see above that sheet is this large weathered turtle shell, like an actual turtle shell. Along the covering are strands of thick hemp on rope with strange amulets that resemble little emerald and amber eyes, with an array of lit candles, wax leaking off its dry composition type flesh. Um, at the top is covered cream is this large weathered turtle shell, and underneath it, where the face would be, is this large painted artificial eye made of driftwood and painted with the image of an eye made of yellow, red, and yellow paint. Stands about 13 feet tall. It's about 9 feet long, about 7 feet wide. It is a massive creature. There are many people standing around, idly looking at it, gawking at it. You see some children sort of just like getting some sand and putting it on like parts of the exposed area of this creature, and the creature's just standing completely still. Nothing is bothering it at all. I'll go ahead and post a picture of what this thing looks like. I'll post it in miscellaneous images. It's not really an NPC. But you see that standing out just outside the running star.
Well, it's just completely normal.
Yeah, that's not weird at all.
It's yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's pretty hip, is what it is. Man, if
Yeah.
this world had cameras, anyway.
So as you walk into the running star, you go and you meet at the desk a older gentleman, a human man, about his mid 40s. He already has some graying in his hair. I'll go post the picture. His name is Monum. He's like, welcome to the running star. Are you looking for boarding for today, for the weekend, maybe, or for the week?
We're actually
Yeah.
looking for someone named Deshant.
Deshant.
Deshant,
So-
he's a lizard folk fella. That we are.
Siraj Deshant. Yeah, the wizard lizard folk fellow. Yes, he's actually upstairs, room 24.
24.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sweet, thank you.
As you make your way up the stairs, you eventually reach room 24.
And we knock.
There is no response at first, but then you hear a just 1 minute.
Sure.
Doors
wait.
open if you want to come in.
Oh, okay. I just
Who's
open the
doing?
door and walk in.
In this room is very messy. You find drawn pictures of crabs with various large gemstones and minerals, like hand drawn on parchment papers, and they're just strewn about all over this room. You find maps of what looks like to be migration patterns to large seashells, literally stacked on each other of varying sizes, from like the size of a football, like a soccer ball, all the way to the size of like a cabinet, and they're all just resting in this room. You find many rare and very expensive gemstones like aquamarines, argonites, even a couple of rubies and gemstones that are just lying about on the tables and desks and sometimes on the bed. And you see Deshant muttering to himself. He seems to be looking for something, and you see that he's uttering to himself, "Ow, miscalculations. I just can't think
Do
if
you
my
need any
day.
help?
No. Hold on real quick. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get my thoughts together. If the migration patterns work, if the weather is correct in the next 3 months, we can find proper lodgings for these jewel crabs if the males in fact arrive on time. But then but then you have the large bear mid crabs that are now taking sea coastlines. Oh, it's going to be a mess. And so this is what this small little, very small looking lizard folk. He has these very beautiful greenish scales that sort of have this very spectacular sheen when the light pierces through the windows and hits the scales, giving off very beautiful green hueish reflection of light. He has this beautiful onyx staff with golden tips and a magical spell book that is floating on its bed. The pages are sort of like going back and forth. It's this sort of seafoam colored leather covering. There are some crystal balls that sort of look like they're like sea bubbles on the cover of the spell book. And he looks like a very just a cute, short little lizard folk. He has a emerald cloak on with a very golden strip edging. And he has just books and parchments and quills and oil ink pots attached and hanging to his belt. And this is what Deshant, the lizard folk, looks like. And he's just in the corner looking at some books, looking at some maps and parchments. He finally looks toward you and says, "Oh, sorry. Who are you again? Why are you in my room?"
You had a contract for someone to help you with the, what was it, like jewel crabs.
Finally, I've been waiting all week for freelancers. You must be the sand swimmers, correct?
Yeah, sorry. We were just
Yeah.
making sure our ship was ready to go.
I don't think you understand the complications that will be administered upon our journey through the coastline, past the coastline. Now the bareback crab mating season is upon us. We're going to be going through some dangerous terrain.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, this
It's
is
not
cool.
fun. It's more of a complication. It's going to hinder our experience. Okay. Anyways, I am Deshant. I am a gem hunter from. That doesn't really matter. But I believe that you're here to help me. So if you're to help me, we are a week late. So if you can help me put all my things on Ramparak, which is outside, we can get on our way.
So
Is-
the
The
big guy?
big guy with the shell.
Yes, Ramparak. Yes,
That's yours.
Ramparak's a golem I made. Yes.
Is that? I just think to myself, is that gonna fit on the ship?
I don't think we're taking the ship
Did
anymore.
did you say a ship?
Yeah, we got a ship.
Can your ship hold 15 tons?
I don't know.
15.
So that's how much Rampart alone weighs, along with the gear. I can only imagine that's maybe a couple more thousand pounds.
All right.
Is it-
Well, I don't know what you're planning on doing, but I don't think the ship's an option anymore.
I think we have to talk to George.
How
He
big's
knows best.
your ship?
It's a sloop.
It's a s-
It's a sloop, so I don't think it's ridiculous.
That's not gonna hold Rampart.
oh God.
So,
We have to-
okay, so I've got a question. Does Ramparok have to come?
He's gonna say yes.
I think it's a yes.
He just
I don't
looks at
think
you.
you'd ask.
He squints at you and he does like the double eyelids of like all lizards. It just looks at you.
All right. What do you need us to do? Like, do you help picking up your stuff?
I need all of this things, all the things you see in my room, onto Rampart.
All right, I just start picking up stuff.
All right, whatever. Make things more complicated.
Yeah, yes.
Start picking up
Start
stuff and
pick-
walking it downstairs or wherever.
If you believe that your ship, your sloop, that averages holds about 8 tons, can hold my 15-ton Rampart, I am more than willing to try it out.
No,
Let's
no.
not.
No, I'm just saying that this would have been
No, it
faster
seems
on
it
ship.
seems just like
but,
that you had things in place, which I don't know how. If that's what took you so long, a week late. I've been waiting here.
No,
for a
it
week
wasn't.
for
Okay.
freelancers.
We've been having some issues. It was some personal stuff. We don't need to talk about it on this get going so we don't any more late, right?
No, it just seems that your companion here, who owns a ship, apparently wants my Rampart to be on the ship.
It's-
So
No,
if
I
you want
didn't
to
The ship
try
is
this
no
out,
longer an
you can
option.
go ahead and
Let's
put
just
Rampart
forget-
on the ship and
let's
see if it
forget the
holds the
ship.
ship.
Let's
Look, we're
forget the
only
ship
going
and
down the
go where
coastline,
things
so
go.
it may work, it may not work, but 15 tons on the ship that has a max capacity of 8 tons
I-
doesn't seem like a very smart idea.
No, let's just get all your stuff. We'll put on Ramfrock and then we'll start going.
I'm going up and down the stairs going, maybe next time they should put what is the requirement in order to do something. I have a big giant golem, blah, 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 blah. Just mumbling to myself as I go down there. Like, maybe this information would have been helpful so we know what we need to do to prepare, but whatever. Just grabbing stuff and walking downstairs.
So as you're bringing all this stuff, Deshant's obviously not helping. And he's just too busy collecting what he considers the most important maps and pictures of jewel crabs. And as you bring stuff to this large construct called the Ramparak, the large construct just sort of slowly turns its. You don't even know if it's a head or not at this point. It just turns to you and then it lowers its front legs for you to just pile stuff on. There are compartments, as you can see, as Deshant walks down with you, you have all these stuff carrying for him, like seashells and gemstones. Like, there's a couple of sheets of driftwood that you can just raise upwards, and he has actual compartments that you can put stuff inside. And as you,
So I literally just like open one of the compartments, just stare him right in the eyes, and just dump it in, like that. Thanks.
he just like does the double eyelid blink like a lizard, and just like, all right.
I
Once
don't
you get
think
everything up,
understand sarcasm.
and he gets
That's
he
the
gets on top. He just waits until you've finished loading all his crap.
My God. Oh, this is gonna be annoying for a bit, but we will
I'm
get
just gonna be
through
honest. I think we should get hazard pay for the mental duress that we're gonna be under for this.
it. Yeah.
I guess
But,
we're not taking the
uh,
ship. All right, I'm gonna go let George know, and I guess we're gonna go some other way.
Yeah, we'll go get camels. I think will be best.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, there's no need for camels. You all can ride on Ramparak.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
all right.
I'll be
As you
right
see
back.
that, like, he opens like some more compartments and he pulls out little like wooden chairs that like are embedded inside this construct.
Oh,
You
Okay.
can
wow.
sit down.
That will be easier at least. So yeah, let's go to the dock to tell George and then continue on this
But
adventure.
yeah,
I just
so
like while they're doing that, I'll be right back. I just run to the docks. George, just get the rest of this stuff set up. Tav loaned the money to me. Just get everything ready and do what you gotta do. Sorry. Apparently, no one was required to tell everyone what the requirements are in a contract other than bare minimum. Sorry, I'm having a bad day. Have a wonderful day, George! And I start running off.
George and his crew are like, they look a little bit sweaty as they're working. They're just like, uh, okay.
Sorry.
And he turns to the rest of the crew, he's like, we're not sailing today, boys. Everyone's just like, oh man.
Take him out on a fun day voyage. Just fucking run off.
So I was just like, it's gonna take 30 minutes to get out of the port alone.
Not my problem.
All right. So, slowly making your way there, you notice that when he's driving, you see that he actually has to magically command it. As he gets atop of the head where the tortoiseshell is, he sits there and he unleashes his spell book, and various arcane glyphs surround him, and then they drop and sort of embed themselves into the turtle shell, and it becomes a magical platform for him to come in, like command and steer Ramparak. So as you're all at a decent pace, actually, because people move out of the way when they see Ramparak roving through the streets. Everyone's just like, "Holy shit! What the fuck is that?"
We don't
Okay,
know
there's-
either.
Please get out of the way before my golem steps on you. Thank you. And everyone's just like, what the?
This is pretty
Okay.
cool, actually.
I'm not gonna
Um,
lie, this guy's kind of. We'll talk about it
Old
later.
school.
Golems are crazy.
So as you make your way out to the western gate, he asks you if you've all already resupplied stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all
we
just
have.
finished resupplying.
Sounds good. So setting out into the desert sands, we'll go ahead and take a 15-minute break.
Sweet. Do do do. we're back.
Yay.
All
Stupid
right, y'all.
construct.
Welcome back. um, we're picking up right with the sand swimmers atop a very large four-legged golem called Ramparak, the supposed creation of this lizard folk, gem hunter slash wizard named Deshant. Um, so you are all making your way on foot, unfortunately, as to the dismay of the party, not being able to one increase the speed of this journey, expedite this contract in general. But they also have to listen to this lizard folk Deshant talk about his obsession with jewel crabs and crab hunting. The journey is going to take 3 days to get from Macerna to Afram by the normal sandstone road. He tells you a bunch of interesting information, at least to maybe some of you, but most of it is just stuff that you never asked for. He tells you that most likely that they will be all of you will be dealing with bear crabs that are it's prime mating season, so a lot of bear crabs are forming territories along the coastlines, and they are quite dangerous because they're territorial, and they will eat pretty much anything.
Seems nice.
He says that once you all port, once you stop at Afram, you're going to resupply there. He has some business at the guild, the Alchemist Guild. It's only going to take like an hour or two. He has some stuff he's looking to sell them, since he is a wandering gem hunter. He also has his own job on the side. And then they will continue their journey onto the coastline itself, which is where the journey becomes more perilous. If you were ever interested in what he does with the gems, he uses the gems for crafting magical items. The gems on jewel crabs are one mostly normally just sold because of their authenticity, them being very viable gemstones for aesthetic means, but they can be used as minor components in magical spells. But for the most part, he sends a majority of them back to a place called the Young Mages School as his donation, since he is an alumni there, where he learned magic at a young age. He tells you that though a majority of the gemstones are for him to take for his own, he will allow you to take a few gemstones for yourself off the crabs.
Oh, nice.
But he tells you not to get too greedy because he has every right to cancel the contract on you if you take too much. Not to mention, he doesn't want all the gemstones being taken off the jewel crabs, because if you take all the jewels off of a jewel crab, they become, well, one, they won't be able to find a mate. They themselves psychologically will think of themselves as inferior, and they will go and just wither and die alone, which is not good for the ecosystem. They clean the bottoms of the ocean, and they also help bring up more suitable rock and stone from volcanic eruptions beneath the sea. So they're like pretty somewhat important to the ecosystem. They just start killing themselves, and then it's not good for anybody.
So, how are we supposed to get the gems off the crabs if we don't
Yeah, we're not
kill
killing them,
them?
right?
So there's a point where we will attack them and cause enough damage. Well, they will retract into their shell, and at that point, they will become submissive. And with that, he points to a bunch of pickaxes. We can pick away at the gemstones that are viable to take, and then we leave just a few on there so that they can continue with their lives and still hopefully find a mate in the future. Now, we'll mostly be taking gemstones from the females, which are very large compared to the males. The males are much smaller. They're about the size, he points at Sterling, about the size of him. And then the females are half the size of Ramparak here, far larger, and their gemstones are a lot more valuable, a lot more potent in terms of harnessing and mining. However, they are a lot more dangerous, which would require us to engage them for a short time before they do retract into their shells.
Okay. There's the
Okay.
information I needed.
He goes into details about the mating seasons of jewel crabs and their mating habits, including courtships, including just habits in general. How females like to dig themselves halfway in and expose parts of their genitalia, for the male
Oh,
to conduct a courtship dance and then fondle with it and stuff like that. It's very
Oh.
peculiar, just out of this
Fondle.
world type of things. It's part of the courtship. It's a weird courtship thing. I actually researched a little bit on certain crustacean courtship methods, along with other animals, not just like crustaceans. And there is a creature, I think it is some sort of like species belonging to like the badgers or some like meerkats or whatever, and they do that type of thing. And I'm like, interesting.
What a weird goddamn thing nature is.
Cool. So they just let it all out there, huh? And the guy's just, that's not my thing. Move on.
I'm gonna go someplace else. All right.
Too salty. I don't know. Too vinegary. Yeah, he cautions also. He's like, a word of caution. We Once we get to Talitha Cove, which is a prime location area where we'll be conducting our hunting, we need to isolate the females alone. One, we need to isolate them away from the males who are not there yet. I would hope so, since it has been a week. I'm not sure if the migration pattern has changed or shifted in that time. But the males will still probably be at sea fighting each other to claim that territory as their own so that they can go and reproduce and do the courtship dances with the females. The females are most likely already in there, already nested, creating and forming their nests, their safe habitats, and basically the whole bed and sheets for the whole things to go on. I will tell you right now that if we allow a male to stumble into the cove while we are mining the gemstones, it will be a very, very dangerous fight. The males will be very ferocious and they often will fight to the death, which is not what we want. We don't want to harm these creatures to the point where they die. I will remind you, but if it does come to that, it does come to that, and it is how it is. So it's important to, once we get to the cove, we establish a barricade and barricade the entrance, which I'll be relying on you three to establishing some sort of makeshift barricade so that it will deter anything outside from coming in while we conduct our gem hunting. The gem hunting is relatively easy, I would say, especially when we have so many people. All we need to do is, as he brings out a little like mason jar, like clay jar, and he opens it. There's this disgusting green and white sort of paste in there, and it reeks. It smells horrid. He says, "This is a food, a concoction that I made that will put the female crustaceans in a very low state sleeping, which will allow us to mine it without waking it. However, we need to sneak it in front of it. We can't just give it to it when it's conscious. It will automatically assume we are danger. We are poachers hunting for its gemstones, because these creatures know that their gemstones are being hunted. Several of their kind have been hunted over the years. So we want to make sure that we give it to them when they are sleeping, and then when they awake, they will eat it because they're not that smart. And once they eat it, they will fall into a deep slumber, and then we can mine it from there. And pretty much that. You can take some of the gemstones. I pay you, and we're good to go. And the contract's good."
Sounds good.
The annoyance in that response. I feel like Ox is at like the very end of Rampart. He's just like, sounds good.
Yep. Taking away all my fun. I'm here for one reason, and that's smashing, and I'm not gonna get to smash very much. So, and then he just leans back in the chair and just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after the first day, you take a long rest and camp out. Deshant actually has all the supplies he needs to camp on top of Ramprak, so he can make his little tent. He can, if he asked if you want to sleep on top of Ramprak too. It's up to you. You can sleep on the ground. Completely up to you.
Anything I can do to get away from his incessant chatter, I lay on the ground.
Yeah. Sterling goes as far away as possible. because he knows he's gonna be awake the entire night, so he needs to distance himself at least.
Thankfully for you, he does fall asleep relatively quickly, so you don't have to hear him like talk to you in his sleep. But in the morning, he does wake up early, and he sees that you're a warforged, and he sees that your eyes move when he moves around, and so he sits there and talks to you in your stasis mode for maybe 30 minutes.
Oh
So
God.
yeah, a little bit before you have to get disengaged to get your full rest. So he just seems like, I've been really wanting to get Ramprak into some sort of mode like this. Ramprak's just always awake, and I would prefer it if he could, store its energy like you do, like you Warforges do back in the Cyber Sync. And he just goes on and on about future possible upgrades with Ramprak and how he wants him to change his form to multiple forms. He wants to make multiple Rampraks for different occasions.
I'm so glad I'm
Oh,
asleep.
So eventually you take multiple rests on the way there. So I think no one here has everyone's a warlock if they're spellcaster. So you have to wait till you level up to change your spell listing. So if there was any other things that you have the ability to change on a long rest, go ahead and do so, since there's 3 occasions. Thankfully, with both Sterling and Ramprak always normally awake in sentry mode, there's always never an opportunity for enemies to get the surprise on you, if there were any, which there really ever isn't. In the distance, maybe there are some like movements of like dune jackals or whatnot, or maybe some sand goblins, who knows. But none of them stray too close to your campsite to bother you.
Nice.
To obstruct your long rest. So eventually, after 3 days of travel, you make your way and finally arrive in the town of Afram. And you're greeted by the same guard near the entry. He's like, "What in the? Oh, you 3 again? Oh."
It's not our fault.
Hello.
It's not our fault. Well,
We're gonna take a ship, so it's not. You didn't really have a choice.
Hi.
Deshant's like, fellow guard, can you please guide me and my golem to your alchemist guild? And the guy's just like, yes, it's just down the street. You can see it with the large painting. It says there's a sign out there that says Alchemist Guild. You have eyes, right? You can see that. He's like, thank you very much. And I don't know how the customs here in this part of the country, so hibbity doo.
That's you just say hi and thank you. It's fine.
Okay.
I'm so close
Well, now
to
I know.
killing this man.
Knowing is half the battle, I guess.
The other half is learning and continuing that knowledge. I don't know. I'm out of here. I got to go find some stuff. We'll meet back up in an hour or so.
Yeah, just give me an hour. We'll meet in the markets, and then we'll continue our journey to the coastline.
Sweet.
So you 3 leave.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so
We're
he
done.
leaves Ramprak in the market. And he goes himself. He takes a satchel, a heavy burlap sack of like what seems to be like rocks and gemstones. And he makes his way towards the Alchemist Guild building, which you guys know where it is as well. What would you 3 like to do in the meantime?
We look for.
Yeah, we got to look for
Husu?
Husu. Obviously, we probably don't want to approach the guards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Who-
see the same guard? He's just like, what in the Primarch are you? One of you like sticking you a sword,
I wouldn't.
and
It's
it
just-
moves. It moves slightly. He's like, oh god!
It's a golem or something. I
I've
don't know.
never
I
seen a
honestly
golem in
wasn't
my-
listening.
I don't even know what a golem is.
It's a construct. It's not. It
Ah.
it doesn't think on its own. I don't think. It just does what that little guy tells it to.
It turns his head at you.
Okay, maybe it does
Okay.
think. I don't have time for this. Is that the guard that we were friendly with? That we
Yeah,
basically saved
same
his
guard.
ass.
Yeah, it's the same guard.
So
He's the one that knows. Like, he's the one that you ask, like, hey, you want to take the body? Big guy.
Oh.
We're looking for a friend of ours. I mean, I don't. Just because they know the name doesn't mean they know anything.
Look, I'll
associated
stop
with
you
it.
right there. I know last time we talked, you talked about taking a body. I really don't want to know who this friend is.
No.
I don't even
No,
want to
no,
know.
no,
It's
no.
not, it's nothing to do with dead bodies. If that's what
I
you're worried
hope not.
about.
I hope not, because that was a very interesting conversation we had near the fishery.
Yeah, and we also saved your town from a cult that was apparently supposed to be dead.
Oh.
So there's that. You're welcome.
There's a
Oh,
term for people like you. I can't remember what the
Heroes. Heroes.
sociopath. That's the word.
Aw, that's
Sociopath.
hurtful.
We're
But
not
fair.
Yeah.
social.
So we're
Okay.
friends. All right.
Hey,
Yeah, you guys are just ignoring. He's like, no, we're not. Let's just move on from this idiot.
uh, Husu? Does that name ring a bell to you?
A look of confusion and loss.
Perfect. All right.
All right. Yeah.
Shit.
So I
Uh,
expected.
Well, it's not a big town. Were the mines active or something? Don't because
Is there like a let's go to that where those Tabaxi fellows were. I think they were Tabaxi.
The deserted fleet. You're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about the two twins.
Yeah, the twins. Let's go see the
Probably your
twins.
best
Maybe they
bet.
know.
Don't get into
Sorry.
trouble now.
We'll
no,
stay
we
in
won't.
as much trouble as we don't want to be in. I mean,
What?
what?
Thank you. Bye. He just leaves.
And before you guys leave, Steven has been like having trouble struggling. He's his entire journey he's struggled to get on and down from Ramprack, and he finally gets down and he walks around Ramprack, and the guard turns out his mouth is dropped. He's like,
Oh, Steven, come on.
"Is that the same? What he's what?
Yeah.
He has
Yeah.
cloak and swords."
Yeah.
He's become quite the addition.
Yeah. He has his hand out, and Steven's like puts his paws out and shakes it. Hello. The guard just like,
Good job, Stephen. Good job. You're learning.
We find it's best if you don't ask questions. We're not sure either.
Just roll with it, please. He's learning. Okay, let's go.
We are causing trauma everywhere we go.
We are the trauma.
so you may. Hey Jeffrey, we want to change our group name to the Trauma. Self-inflicting trauma. Right. So you make your way to the deserted fleet, and it's a somewhat busy day because it's around like 10 a.m. right now in the morning. So there's a few people starting their days right by getting drunk in the beginning of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You see the two twins over there. I already forgot their names.
Robert and Bobbert. I don't know. Probably something far more fantastical than that bullshit I just threw out.
There you go. Their names are. Maybe I don't have. Don't remember where I put them. Here we go. Creek and Dishy.
That's right.
So both of them are at the bar, and they both respond simultaneously. Oh hey,
Hey, funny running into you guys. Actually, no, I don't have anything for this. I had something for this. I don't. We're looking for a friend of ours, and we thought maybe you might know where she is residing currently.
they both look at each other. Maybe.
Is it empty-ish in here?
The bar capacity holds like 50. There's about 18 people in here.
Okay, so I'll walk up close to the bar, and be like, we're looking for our friend Husu.
And they both simultaneously say 5 gold pieces.
I give him 10.
Okay. Well, never mind. I take my gold back.
You're giving it gold. Dishy takes it, and Creek responds. She sort of leans in. She's like, so you're looking for Husu? We know of a Husu. We know that the Racing Thieves Guild operates around here, actually, right behind us. If you go to the building directly behind us, you'll notice that it is abandoned. go to the back door, and you will knock 4 times and then whistle, and one member should open the door for you. And hopefully your companion will be. We did see Husu, what, 2 days ago, walking around to the market. She didn't look very well. She looked a little sickly.
Yeah, we're trying to help her. She ran into some trouble in Mesana, and we're trying to help her with that.
Okay. Cool.
So
Thank you very
thank
much.
you for the
Yeah,
information.
No,
We will.
no problem.
Just turn.
Give me a
Let's
seat
go,
first.
Steven. And
Yeah, Steven's like, there's a group of out of the 18 people, at least like 6 of them are all friends and they're drinking at the bar or drinking at a table. And Steven's right next to them, and they're all like sloshed, like they're hammered, and they're giving some drinks to Stevens. He's like,
Oh God.
I'm going to let you train this one because I can't teach moderation.
Oh God.
You can teach him how to stop being an alcoholic, and I will teach him how to use 2 swords at once
What should I teach him?
How?
to get angry.
Oh, sweet. Steven, we
you're
got
good at that, right?
lessons.
You got an entire dojo.
That's
Oh, God.
fantastic.
oh god.
Oh God. Oh God.
Okay, so
Be
after about
careful, my
maybe
boy.
a few minutes of persuading Steven to leave the rambunctious group, the member's like, Steven, whenever you're in Africa, man, just come here, we'll drink anytime. Steven's like, you got it.
What
And
do
he
you
does
do?
he does the finger bangs because they're all doing finger bangs.
Oh.
So now Steven has a signature with his
Oh
little
man,
mouse balls. Finger
this
bangs.
is the
I'm-
best day ever. He's
I'm glad he's
learning
making-
so much.
I'm glad he's making friends, but
He's walking out doing finger bangs still. It's like, when do I stop?
You just
And when
if you
you-
do it once and then it's. I mean, you can do that anytime you can use it as a victory pose.
Gotcha.
All right,
Yeah.
that's enough, Steven.
Yay.
Perfect.
you don't have to do it all the time.
Your fingers
But
will
I
get tired.
can.
That's true. All right,
That's true.
And then you
let's
see that
go.
you see that he takes his feet and he does it with his feet too.
Oh no, 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 no.
I'm not gonna
no.
lie, that's pretty kick-ass. All
You see
right.
that there are now more guards at the center of town where they're all like looking at Ramparak, and then they all see you leave the deserted flee, and they're just like, and the guard that you know is just like, told you, he's working.
Just wave. Steven, wave
like-
at them.
Steve's just like,
There you go. That's the perfect time.
right?
Go around to the back, knock 4 times. Boop, 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 boop. I can't whistle very well. Someone else do that part.
So once you arrive, actually you're already there, so you do the whole like passphrase code or whatever
Uh-huh.
sequence. Sterling, you're right behind. Tab, you're also right behind too because you're trying to get Steven to stop doing the whole finger bang thing every time. But as soon as Steven gets within like 5 feet of the building, he begins to just sniff like crazy around the building.
It's the snakes.
No,
It's like,
smells bad.
No, there's
Dead
a dead in
people?
there.
Hey, does it
Mm,
smell like those
yeah.
things that we ran
It's-
into?
It smells like Ox's farts.
I mean, fair.
It smells like
But
There's
hurtful.
dead people inside them.
Wait,
Um,
my farts
At
don't
the-
smell like death.
Nearby there is an exposed window that wasn't visible until you started to take a. You just went straight to a door, because you saw a door. But as you take a better look at the overall building, it is well like run down. It is abandoned. You see that most of the windows have been boarded up except for one, the left side to the door. You see that one, there's no mirrors in this day and age. Most poor places don't have glass windows; they just have open windowways. You see that there are several large scratch marks, and for you, Ox, being somewhat of a tracker, you can easily identify the use of knives or sharp objects were used to force their way through this window.
Oh, Let's go
And
in.
and as you approach, you can smell the whiff of death,
Oh
decomposition.
shit!
Okay.
Everyone, be ready. There's probably gonna be some bullshit in here.
When you go to the door, you realize the door is actually unlocked.
Oh, this isn't good.
And when you open the door, you find a grisly scene. Three corpses. One of a brown feathered kenku, one of a leopard pattern and also furred colored tabaxi woman, and one of the scarred, burnt side face with bluish, purplish, dark black hair, half elven woman. It is Husu.
Oh,
And at the doorway, Steven's just like, oh, butts.
yeah, but
And then he does a finger bang for each.
No, don't
No,
finger
no,
the
no,
dead
no.
bodies, Steven.
this
All
is
right,
not the time. This
be
isn't
respectful. One is someone we know. All right, you don't need to finger bang the body.
Oh God.
let's just call those finger guns from now on because it's
Yeah.
gonna lead to
So,
some really awkward
fine.
conversations.
You know,
But I like finger bangs because like
all right, Steven.
he turns to Eustace like because your gun goes bang.
Yeah, but when I
Yeah.
bang it, someone dies
When you
usually.
bang it, they die. That's what I want to do.
All right.
I want to
there's-
bang things when they die.
There's
God.
so many
Bang,
levels.
I want to
this is
bang
on.
things and then they die.
There's
I'm trying to rationally think here.
There's 4 levels.
Steven,
of this.
So you shoot things, you don't bang them. The
Bang,
sound
bang,
All
bang,
right.
is different than the actual function itself.
bang, bang, bang.
And then they go, ow, ow, ow. And then they
Okay,
go,
yeah.
fall, fall, fall. All right. But the bang isn't the hurty part, it's the
Oh,
impact of whatever you shot at them.
I think I understand now.
So you
Do
got a
you,
finger
Steven?
gun, you can go pew, 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 but that is only at things you want to hurt, not things that you respect or are hurt. But you can do it with your friends. You'd be like, bang, bang, because
Oh,
they'll
okay,
do it
okay.
back,
All right, okay.
but not with a
Okay.
real gun, because then it's
Okay.
bang, bang, dead,
Okay.
dead.
All right. Okay. The situation's still butts though.
It is, but
Yeah.
fuck.
Let's investigate.
Okay. Everyone
on,
go ahead and make
let's go.
whoever wants to make investigation checks, go ahead and
Yeah.
do so now.
Oh.
That's 9.
It's 8.
Investigation. 21.
Wow. So with for Sterling and for Tav, it's not so much that you can't find anything, you can't seem to understand and grasp like the place is a mess, but you're too busy focused on things that lead to no other like successful clues. It leads you to dead ends, like just like this broken box may lead to something. Doesn't lead. So you look at the bodies and they're heavily. As you turn the bodies, you can definitely say that they're heavily eviscerated. And the gore is just too much overbearing, or the gore doesn't really, click in your mind what they could be at first. So you think that they must have been looking for something. But for you, Ox, you clearly study the bodies first, more so, and you notice that these eviscerations were made by sharp claws with made by sharp claws. However, where the wounds are, you see that very familiar black discoloration that has basically consumed a majority of that area of the appendages, or on the chest, or the neck, or even the face. That is reminiscent of Theros with his limp arm that is all completely like black discolored, giving you the hint that whoever did this has to be related to the masked people.
Oh, so
Use
there's
dark
two
magic.
problems we have here. One, we are unfortunately kind of fucked in the terms of trying to bring her back. And two, and this is where the butts comes in. We don't have any potential buyers for our shit anymore.
That's not what I was thinking about right now. I was thinking about the uh, why do I always forget the name? God Hilda, the
Oh
one
yeah,
with golden
the
eyes.
lady said if we brought her back, it'd be fine. But I mean, I think we can just shit. Um, do we just want to send a message to them to let them know where her body is located so they can, do preparations how they want to do them and just lock this place up and so they can deal with it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Steven turns around and he has his like claws out. And he's like leering to the doorway, and all three of you turn around, and there is a hooded individual in the doorway. Um, at
Does he have
first,
a mask?
you can't see under the person's hood. It's just darkness. Even with dark vision, like you just can't see their face. It's being
Obfuscated somehow.
yeah, it's very hard to see with the hood covering the face. But it's a small statured person. But the one thing that gives it away is the beautiful immaculate long sword at the hilt.
Oh,
She walks into the doorway and she drops her hood down, and it's Godolina.
oh, just the person we were
Good
talking
news.
about.
Yeah.
I imagine so. As she closes the door behind herself or behind her, and she looks out the window that's been busted in, seeming as if she's like on the lookout for anybody. And she
Steven,
turns.
she's fine. You can put your claws away.
Yeah,
She's a
you,
If it
nice
was an
lady.
enemy, if it was an
Steven,
enemy, you
like,
should use your short swords.
I look directly at Steven. I look directly at Steven and go, this is a time where you can go. Pew, 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 pew. She may not understand it, but
yeah, as she's walking by, she walks towards Steven. Steven's just like, and Godolina's just like, um, have we met before?
no.
Are you a large fat folk? Steven is just continuing to finger bang.
it's fine.
He
You did. Good job, Steven.
he's a directly found in the
Yes.
sewers. He died,
A
and then
lot
he comes back.
happened between then and now. He's now like intelligent and stuff. Kind of hard to explain.
Wait, I don't think we met Steven when
I've
we first met.
No.
never, yeah,
No,
I've
he didn't.
never met this creature before.
No.
Steven, it's a pleasure to meet you. And Steven's like, likewise. She's just like, oh,
Yeah, he's
oh.
pretty badass.
Yeah. Can we skip the introductions to Steven just for the moment? We have a little bit of a problem down here.
Yes. It's best we leave this place now and let and she looks at Husu and she goes and kneels down Husu and you see that she closes her eyelids and she's like, we should just leave now. Well, we can talk outside for a little bit. I saw you all arrive on that large construct thing. Are you on contract?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Let's just go outside and talk for a little bit.
Sure.
There's some things that you need to know.
Yeah. You too, probably. We have some information.
What the hell
Okay.
information do we have? Oh
We have
yeah.
another map.
About everything.
There's so much we have.
So you go into like a nearby like alleyway, relatively unexposed. She sits on a crate, and Steven sort of goes on the opposite of the alleyway, just keep guard. And he's just like,
We should totally get him guns.
No, all right.
no.
Let's cool it with. Right now, he's just like shooting everything. So like maybe we should teach him gun safety before we even think
there you
about giving him a
go.
gun.
I approve of that. Gun safety and gun education is always crucial before you even take up arms.
This coming from the barbarian who was only taught by being beat over the head.
Wrong.
Whatever, I did it.
Back talking. Wrong. So you're sitting in the alleyway and she looks at you. Godolina looks a little bit more tired. You can see that there's a lot more, there's darker circles under her eyes. She hasn't been sleeping much, it looks like. You see that there's a lot of like bandaging around her arms. You can see that her formerly like somewhat reasonable clothing is all sort of torn in areas. You see that she has bounded different types of clothing and cloths to like from what you can see, dried blood marks. You see that she's been fighting for a while now. And she looks all through you. You look all great. And Tav, you look beautiful as ever.
Well,
Sterling,
thank you. You too.
you have a thank you. You have a cloak, a very nice. Oh, it's the same cloak, from the cave.
It's a
Mortal.
Yeah.
fart cloak.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Fart
yeah.
cloak.
Is that what that thing does?
Basically.
It farts. Oh,
Poison, more or less, but still.
And Ox, I see you wearing a shirt. That's a surprise.
Yep. It's my fancy attire.
I see with the little bow. It looks nice
Yep,
on
the
you.
little bow tie, and of course, it's the only thing you need to go to a function. No shirt, no shoes, no service. I have a loincloth. Nobody said anything about pants.
It's true. Well, since we have the short rest that we have, we might as well talk about. I assume you know who the half elf woman is.
Yeah, Husu.
Was Husu, a friend of mine. I guess I should start from the beginning. You remember Mortal Cave, the that shady character Armand, the one you took the mask.
Yep, still got it.
Yeah.
Pull out
Um,
my backpack.
I remember telling you that I would continue the investigation because obviously he took a friend of mine, which I did find his body eventually.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. I continued my investigation into this Armand, and lo and behold, I discovered what was a bigger conspiracy, a larger organization than I anticipated. We are dealing, well, I guess now we all are dealing with a cult, a demon cult,
Of course.
dedicated to, I believe, an exiled demon lord named Bateo. That's
Yep.
what he's called.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds all right.
It's a lot.
Is it? I mean, I'm kind of over it already.
You can see that when she's talking to you, she's always looking down the alleyways, even though one part of the alleyway is covered by the big Stephen Bohm. And the other is relatively near all of you, so you can always deal with whatever comes down that. But she's always constantly on the lookout. She's very paranoid.
When's the last time you slept?
A while. I've been I sort of stirred up the hornet's nest with this demon cult, and I haven't I've been in danger ever since then. She looks all through. I wanted to come and find you and ask for your help, but knowing that I was dealing with a demon cult, I didn't want to put that on you, and unfortunately, it seems that it didn't matter in the end, and now we're here.
Yeah.
Quick question: do you have the picture book on you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Do you know what the hell this thing's about?
I do,
They want it
and
really bad.
she sort of just stands up. She's paranoid as usual. She looks all around. You're on contract, right? So, is Afrim your destination, or are you leaving the village?
A little bit. We're
Yeah,
going
we're
to
going to the
Cove.
coast.
We got like a
To
half
the
hour, and then
coast.
we're going to the coast to take some stuff from some crabs without
Perfect.
killing them.
I think it's best that I can tell you all that I've learned and acquired in the past few months, away from any civilization, away from possible eyes and agents of the Hibis Corpse, which is what they call themselves.
Wait, the headless corpse?
Hibis Corpse.
Hibis corpse. Okay.
Hibis Corpse is what the cult is called. And I'll tell you what I know about that book and how and why it's so important to them. Why killing Armand has led to all these events, these unfortunate events. And as she's talking to you as well, now she's never left her left hand has always been on her sword handle the entire time. Not because she's right-handed, so her sword hands are right, but she always has her hands on her sword. As they said, she doesn't want anyone touching it. she's far more paranoid about her sword, and a lot more defensive about it since you last met her. Was there a place that you wanted to wait for your contractee?
Yeah, we're
or
just going to meet them in the market.
Yeah,
They're
you see the
doing something at
big,
the Alchemist Guild.
she put
yeah,
her coat on?
there's that big golem he has. I'm sure we'll just meet up there.
Yeah, there's a lot of city guard just looking at it, gawking at it. Really, that's a golem?
Well, a
Technically,
construct
apparently.
of some sort.
Call it a golem, so I'm assuming it is.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Not as
Anyways,
good as a boat. Still salty as fuck about that.
Yeah, we would have gotten here 2 days sooner. I
I
would
would take anything
probably.
that require me. I have to listen to him.
Just-
if you all want to wait until Deshant arrives, we could do that. Unless you want to do anything else in Ephraim.
what are we gonna do? Just
Yeah.
go check out the handiwork of the now abandoned fish house at the bottom of the street?
It's actually been burnt down. It's been razed completely.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Even that. Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't have any special weapons, Husu, and those in there.
You know what?
I don't.
I'm gonna go to the market and try to find a fishing rod.
Okay. You go to the market. They do sell simple fishing rods for about 5 coppers.
Sweet. And some bait.
Yeah, they don't sell bait, unfortunately.
All right.
You have to go to the docks for the bait.
All right. I'll go to the docks for the bait.
They sell you bait for sure.
Let's spend
One
like yeah.
1 copper for like a small tin of like worms and stuff.
Sweet. Then I'm gonna kill time down on the dock fishing while we wait until it's like 5-10 minutes till, and then I pack everything back up and go back up to the hill to the marketplace to meet him. You guys
So,
gonna
real
go
qu-
fishing?
So real quick, I just actually remembered. So I completely forgot, but you guys did have the 5% off with Lord Pakanos and Macerna. So I'm retallying all the gold actually that you spent at the Flux Deluxe.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do that real quickly so I don't forget. So and that includes the short swords as well. So I'll do the short swords first and the leather armor. And also with that order too. So that order for you, Tav, so it was 112. 112 minus 50, so 112 minus 56. You actually only spent 56 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Which is actually half. It's actually half, which is hilarious. Oh, wait, hold on. I did that wrong.
Wait, what? Yeah, it's
Oh,
50%.
There
How
you
can
go.
we
So
have
17 gold.
125, I think.
So 17. So 90. You only spent 95 gold. for that
Okay, so
order.
then it's like
And then you bought 3 short swords, Sterling.
Yeah.
So I'll do a hold on that. So you only spent 33 instead of the 39 in total.
Okay. So yeah.
6 gold pieces back. And then the gold for all those magical items. So the 800 was technically
760.
780.
Oh, 780. Is that 5%?
780. 15%.
15%.
Oh, is it 5%? I didn't remember now.
15. I was
15%.
read it, so it should be 15. Yeah.
So yeah, it was 720 or 780 for the order. Wait, no, god damn it, 720.
Okay.
It's 780. I'm doing my math wrong so bad. Wait. It's fucking A. It's 680. Goddamn, 100 off. It's 680 for the order for the war axe. So 680 divided by 2 is actually 340 paid by both
So I owe you both 40 more gold. Each.
and
Noted.
then
Yeah.
1650 for the short sword. You actually paid 1402 for the short sword. So that would have been 248 gold pieces instead of or 248 gold pieces back to you, Sterling.
66 gold.
I think that's all for that. And then you guys don't get the 50% discount on Alawi because Alawi's already giving you 50% off. So
Yep.
he's not going to give you 75% off. He's making nothing already.
Ah,
All right. So yeah, I just wanted to just relocate the money because that's what. Oh, and honestly, now that I think about it, that also applies to the ship since you're buying that ship, Mr. Arnold. So 450. I'll just do it all together. That's 68 gold. So you gain 668 gold back.
68.
Okay. All right, cool. That's an order. I was on break. I was just wait. They have Lord Pecanus' favor. They should be getting a little bit of discount. This is a shotgun startup. Because I was watching it. I was watching TV in the living room with my roommate for a second. There was an infomercial on. I don't know why. I don't even know why there's an infomercial in the middle of the day, but it was on. And he was talking about bank stocks. I was like, bank stocks? Oh shit, 50% off, dude. They just just clicked in my head. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, we all forgot it. So.
Yeah, it happens. It's cool. But now we know. Now we have the battle. G.I. Joe. Okay, back to the campaign. So did you guys go fishing in the meantime?
I did.
Go ahead and make a first you want to gauge if you can find some fish. So go ahead and make a survival check.
Okie dokie skills. Survival. 22.
22. Yeah, you see some fish not too far away from one of the docks, so you set up shop there. And then go ahead and make a sleight of hand check or a dexterity check. No, make a sleight of hand because add your wait. Are you proficient in sleight of hand?
I don't think so.
Just go ahead and make a dexterity check with proficiency.
Sleight of hand. Okay. Dexterity check. 6.
So your toss isn't that great. I don't even remember the terminology. I've only went fishing like 15 times in my life.
My cat. I didn't cast it well.
You didn't cast it correctly, and then when you reel it, you reeled it in way too hard, and you just pull like right out of the water. Your strength is just too strong,
Shit.
and you drive the fish in that area away. You no longer can see if there's any fish in that area, and that was about 10 minutes because you would like look engaged, and then you're just like, oh shit, and then you try to pull it, but then you scared the fish away from that area, and it was a big mess. Okay. Did you want to do it one more time? Or?
Yeah, I'll do it one more time. Just see if I can. Let's try it
Go ahead
again.
and see if you can find some more fish in nearby. So make another survival check.
10.
And yeah, I think this is a good area. Go ahead and make a dexterity check. And the
17.
cast is nice. Good cast. Hits the water. Bloop. And after about 5 minutes, no luck.
Oh.
Another 5 minutes pass.
Was that well that was just dexterity. Was I supposed to add my proficiency in?
Did you it doesn't really matter at this point
Okay.
because there weren't technically any fish in there. Your survival did not discern
Sweet.
well enough. Yeah, so you did cast a great cast, your skills of fishing in general was great, but spotting the fish in the area not so great.
Welp. At least I found something to do in my downtime now.
Yep. And your fishing skill went up by 2 points.
Yay!
Out of, out of 150. Now you're 2 out of 150 skill points required to level up your fishing.
I'm gonna try to cast off the side of that stupid golem and try to catch some goblins.
It's like playing RuneScape all over again. Just going to a forest and hacking a tree for 8 hours straight to get that wood cutting up, and then making fires. All right. So eventually Deshant returns and he's already atop his ramp rack. He's like, all right. He looks at Godolina, who reveals herself. He's like, I don't know who you are. Are you a freelancer or no, but I am a comrade of the Sandswimmers and
She's
I
with
don't
us and has agreed to assist us in helping you. It won't cost you anything extra.
um okay, because I wasn't planning on paying you. So if you're okay with not getting paid for this job, then I'm more than happy to take on extra help. And she just nods her head.
Sometimes it pays to just speak up. Not when you need it though, because god damn it.
He's, he's
Anyway,
annoying.
I help Steven up onto it, and
Yeah,
then
Steven just he's so not used to mounting things, like he doesn't know how to put foot in stirrups and stuff like that. He doesn't know like he doesn't know how to climb really because he's never been like he's never used his appendages like this before. So he's just he just has difficulties
mhm.
climbing up stuff. Um,
I'm as a gentleman, I'm gonna help. Sorry, Tav, you're pretty badass on your own. I'm gonna help
Right.
Godolina up.
Yeah,
yeah,
I just do a backflip up on
yeah, yeah. You kick off the side and you do a backflip, catching one of like the exposed, protruding like rocks, and you just hump down, take a seat as if nothing was ever hard, difficult in your life ever.
it. This thing
Um,
I can do.
you play with your drum as you like land like, and Sterling, you get up, eventually. It takes a little bit, but you know how to
Very
rock climb.
reluctant.
Yeah, you're reluctant. All right, well, I'll climb up, I guess. You're in no rush. Yeah, Godolina is really short. She's only 5 foot, 4 foot 8, 5 foot. So she just lift her up. She's like, oh shit. Um, she
Just
gets on
fucking
top.
launch her.
Steven's in the chair. He's just like, and Godolina's just like, Steven's just like, oh.
This is the best day ever.
Yeah.
Eventually, you guys make your way, and by the near the end of the day, you get to the cliff, like a cliffside that overlooks the coast. And Deshant tells you that you'll be making your way down there in the morning, and then later by midday, you should be reaching Talitha Cove, where the whole operation will commence. Deshant once again makes tent on top of his golem. Godolina gets down, takes her backpack, starts pitching her own tent on the ground because during the travel, she also realizes how annoying Deshant can be. As he brings up, like, well, since you're a newcomer, I'll go ahead and talk about the whole mating season of crabs.
And on the way
Sorry,
there,
stop
Ox
me.
just falls asleep.
Godolina sees that and she keeps waking you up. She's like, if I have to suffer, you do too.
Shut up, nobody cares. Just
Did you
roll
hear that?
over.
Did you hear that, Ox? They exposed their genitalias in the courtship dance.
I swear to God, I'm gonna get off this thing and walk sleep there.
As you're during that trip, well, actually, no, at camp. When if you guys, I'm assuming you all make camp off of Ramparak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Godolina makes a fire, and as you're sitting there before you go to sleep, she looks at you, Sterling. She's like, "Is that a new rifle or musket, Sterling?"
Yeah. I got it from Flux Deluxe in Macerna. No
Oh,
place.
Galahard's back in town. I didn't even know.
Yeah, she's back in town. Let me use this new rifle while she's repairing mine.
Oh, what happened to your old one?
Stupid demons.
Yeah, I've even rusted it all the way. Gone. The middle fell apart. So it has to be replaced.
She leans forward. And she's like, "What did this demon look like?"
It had like hands for hair and like they have like yeah.
Those are direct creations of Bataille. Those are curse demons. They are very nasty fiends who have the ability to place a plethora of curses on their victims. I'm happy that they all look well and fine. So as terrible as that sounds, I know from what I remember that rifle is very special to you, Sterling. But I'm happy that you are okay, and Ox and Tav and Steven, who I just met. Steven just like,
Well,
I'm not scared.
Steven wasn't fine for a little bit. He did die.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
put
right.
my head back on. What?
Oh,
Steven, do the thing.
so
Do the thing.
No, don't do
And
it
Goldie's
now.
just like, go
Jesus
ahead and
Christ, you can't just
try.
spring that on people.
And then
Yeah,
he turns
he
ar-
can at
he turns
least
he,
like,
he turns around to his back where his head's turned, and he does the finger bang backwards.
oh
Oh
no.
God.
And
Um,
Goldie's just like, okay, so Steven's not normal. Am I correct to
Yeah,
assume?
that was clear.
I
Like
mean,
immediately.
he's normal for him, I think.
I
I don't
honestly
know.
assumed he was just an overweight rat folk. I honestly
No,
thought he
no,
was
no.
just
No, he
no
started.
offense.
The dire rat
He started
He-
out as a dire rat. He
he's
ate
a-
nothing but balm.
for a long time.
Wait,
It was
you
a
were
problem.
feeding him healing bombs?
Well,
Why?
to be fair,
You
he
wa-
started it.
You wanted
Then you
nothing
guys
more.
fed it. So
You do realize that Mom probably because he's a rat, he doesn't know better. If
Well, it's
I
anything,
time.
told him it was
all of
bad
them-
for him, but I mean he's smart now, so I don't know.
Now he uses it as a condiment.
It's still not good.
Steven's like, check this out. Takes a short sword, cuts his hand,
Oh, don't.
Oh
Yo,
God.
and Goldie's just like, I'm not gonna comment on this any further.
Oh, speaking of things we need to put straight, you said they are creations. I feel the need to point out that they were creations of Batale because they're friggin' dead now.
Like at least that one. There's probably
I don't
more.
know. You
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's like fell apart and they was speaking to
they're
us.
they're demons. They just go back to the abyss and they'll come
Yeah,
back whenever summoned. I don't know
I
if
kind
you.
of assumed. So, like, I don't think he's like dead.
Yeah, and
Oh,
there's.
curses!
I-
Oh, curses! Oh, curses!
So now that we're all here, safe from civilization and hopefully from unprying eyes, I'll go ahead and just tell you what's going on and give you insights on that picture book that you have. Um,
Would be
so
nice.
for almost 2 months, I tracked rumors of people that either looked like Armand or people any evil wrongdoings, especially kidnappings, like how we were kidnapped on the side of the road and brought to precarious places. And I also tried to looking for rituals that Armand was using at the same time. It led me to Tursoka, the desert town in the middle of the Central Sands. Um, there, I uncovered the cults, and that's how I found out that they were a demon cult, and that the cult was called Hibis Corpse. Um, I drove them to the surface, and by drove, I literally rushed in. Ox, you're not gonna believe this. I just rushed in with my sword and started hacking away.
Well done.
Which obviously led, unfortunately, to the scattering of all of its members that survived. So
Hmm.
I had them all at one place, but my fury and my relentless pursuit of my friend led me to just make a very poor decision, and I now have made things more challenging. Um, I made my way to Khosravi, but I failed to find any hints there. I eventually returned to Macerna, and I continued my investigation where I brought on the assistance of Husu. Husu and me go back about 10 years now. Um, we've traveled together for a bit in the past, but she decided to settle down eventually. Here in there in Macerna to become just a normal thief that's part of the guild. There we uncovered more about this sinister demon cult. As I mentioned, they're called, or at least they call themselves, Hibis Corpse, and they serve this exiled demon lord of curses, this Bataille. We don't know his true name. Um, with Husu, we figured out that their aim is pretty stereotypical for demon cults: kill, send souls to the demon masters, yada yada yada. But for Bataille, it most likely means his planned return to demon lord status. If he is a parent exile demon lord, it only makes sense for him to try to return to his status, which wouldn't bode well for anybody because then he'll get his full powers and his status as a demon lord, and he'll probably be even more powerful and influential, and that's not good for anybody. So figuring that that would be the case, me and Husu tried to stop it. Well, mostly myself. Husu tried to persuade me to stop or to look for help, but I didn't want to intrude on anyone else. And not to mention, I don't have very many family or friends left in this world. Um, I know very little on Bataille. Um, I know that he was responsible for bringing, sinister and fiendish curses. Curses have been around on Zoria well before Bataille ever materialized, but he was the one that was, for my study, my research, my investigations, was the one that brought in fiendish um, elements of curses. The ones that people are scared of, the ones that people normally come across or come across too or over with. Um, I found out that he was during the Blood Wars and during, I think it was the Age of Bedlam. He was exiled after a failed war with another demon lord in the Abyss, and that's what led to him being exiled. Um, as you probably expect, the cult has infiltrated many factions within the upper echelon of the federal government in Macerna. Worst of all, my investigations led that he's already infiltrated the court of the Aga herself, the governor of Macerna, which, if the cult is in control of the government and Macerna, that's at least 100,000 souls destined to be devoured by a demon lord. And that's not good for anybody. And a person such as myself, I can't let that happen. I can't have that on my conscience, knowing that that's a possibility and that I even know of that. Um, I told Husu after she told me that she had found a book that in our investigations is what this Hibis corpses have been looking for. Um, I received a message and she said that she came across it and it had something to do with Deep Hold. Um, I told her that she told me that day that she was going to get some items of praise at the question and that we would meet later. However, when I went out at night, heading to our normal meeting spot, I met a familiar face, at least for me, a Fire Ganassi woman. I fought briefly with her back in Tersoka, along with 4 to 5 of her white masked robed, I guess, cult um, kinsmen or allies. Um, that's when I eventually fought my way out, and I knew that things were in bad shape. After a brief talk with this vile woman, telling me that there was no way that I could stop what was to come in Macerna, uh, she disappeared, and I had a bad feeling that it had something to do with Husu being at the question. Little did I know that you all three would be there as well. You had been gone from. I did inquire about you during the 2 months, but they said that you were out at sea, or at least that's what one of the clerks at the Fortune Hall told me, that you were out at sea for quite some time and had yet to return.
Yep.
Get some issues.
Yeah, we kind of did a bad there,
Shut
but
up.
still,
Shut up. We don't
What?
have to tell everybody everything.
we
Also, there's
trust her well.
definitely we are on top of this guy's school, and I don't specifically want to talk about too private things when he's around.
Um,
We're down. We're not on. We have
yeah,
stepped down.
we're on. You guys are on a cliffside overlooking the coast.
Okay.
So below there's a path that leads down to the coast to the beach. So you guys are just on the cliff.
Okay.
So I tailed them. I investigated around the club, and eventually I made my way to the grounds inside through a back door. Um, at that point, the second floor was already in chaos by most likely you three. And I found Theros and Luini tied up. Freeing them, I quickly made my way to find the Ganassi woman who was making her way towards you all. And that's when I fought her again for the second time. This time she's a lot more powerful. Almost bested me. And she points and indicates to her lower right abdominal region, and she folds back some of the bandages, and you can see black discoloration on her flesh. It looks like dead flesh. She tells you that several blows that she landed on me have left pretty much rotting flesh upon my body. My angelic blood has minimized the corruption spreading to only certain areas, thankfully. But for the most part, well, it's still not just a bruise. I can tell you that. For a time, I fought. I fought her for a time, but I missed my chance to kill her when she summoned a curse demon, who then ordered the curse demon to start flinging maddening curse magic to the second floor, and that's when I heard bodies
Oh.
drop from upstairs, screaming, people running from the second floor. Um, it was the same one with the arms and the teeth and the matte black flesh.
Yeah, that was a rough day.
I escaped and I made my way back to Husu's hideout in Macerna. And that's where I looked at the map for the first time, where I looked at the book. Um, something something unlocked in my memories, something that never remembered up until that point till I touched the book. Um, as if it was like a memory of someone else, not my own. As I was scrolling through the picture book, it reminded me of another woman um, that looked just like me, but it wasn't me. I could tell. At least I felt that way. But it appeared to be from a different time period, not here, not during this time at all. I don't know how long, but it does seem a long time ago. A lot of the buildings were very different. The architecture, the way people dressed. Um, this woman had that same picture book on her, um, and she was protecting it from masked robed individuals, just like the Hippus corpse people. I don't know what that means, but I intend to root out what all this implies. One, I have to take down this cult in Macerna. There's nothing that's going to stop me from allowing such an evil to consume innocent lives. I'm not going to let a demon do that, even if it costs me my life. Not to mention, there's when you found me in Mortal Cove, I only remember memories from 2 weeks prior. My dwarven friend Galanti was the one who told me that he found me in the middle of the desert. I really don't know how old I am or where I come from. Um, my memories are scattered, broken, and being seeing a vision like that for the first time ever, I need to know. And I think it all also has to do with these cultists. And if taking down these cultists means, unlocking more of my past, then I'll do whatever it takes to find them. I know this isn't your business, and I know it's already affected you now, but I have nowhere else to turn to. Husu's dead. I don't know if Theros even wants to join. I don't think he's capable of sustaining such a drive. I don't have the right to ask any of you for this, but
Well, so we're gonna do it. I don't know why you spent that entire time
Yeah.
asking us in a weird way, but I mean, no offense. We're just we're people of action. We're down. We'll help you. We just got to finish this contract because we've already blown one once. But yeah, killing a demon, that's kind of on my bucket list. That's a thing that I want to do. Uh, well, specifically, if we can kill something that's supposed to try to be a demon lord, that's going to be like a feather in my cap. So that's a thing. Um,
she's
so
crying, like bawling, wiping her face. She has a big smile on her face,
you need
and
to take a nap. You look, and don't
she
take this the
immediately
wrong way, like shit.
she immediately hugs you, Tav, because you're like the closest feminine creature here. Also, the only feminine other feminine creature here. She just holds you tightly and just cries into
Yeah,
your
I
shoulder.
hug and rub her back, so it's okay. Just let it out.
For all intents and purposes, like she says she doesn't know how old she is, and she definitely seems like she's been around for some time. For you, Ox, your temporal thing doesn't go off on her, and you don't know why, but there is always been some sort of weird, off-putting sense about her. It doesn't sort of signal you on your little temporal
Yeah, so
sensor
it's just
thing.
like, I mean, she's old, but she's not necessarily like crazy old.
Right. And even you don't truly understand the whole mechanics behind your temporal sensing.
I just know that I have it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you always had this like tingling sensations like, oh, there's something over there.
Eh.
Oh, you're not from here. You're really old. Like are you a vampire? I can imagine like young like Ox like at meetings with other tribes, and he's like, "Are you undead?"
That thing's not alive.
He's a corpse. Um, she
So,
asked to show you, see if she can show you the book and tell you what the book's meaning is. She doesn't know exactly, but she knows how to read it.
Oh, perfect. Finally.
So if you give her the book, she tells you that it contains a secret map hidden in the message in the images of the picture book. No magic intentions. It's if you have to understand what the images mean. And so as she goes through the pages, she tells you that the map is hidden in the images. And she tells you, and she doesn't know how she knows this. She just does. That's why she's like, I need to figure out why this is all happening. She tells you that it was created by another ASMR like herself, and who was a friend of Athea, who is this supposed Triton priestess of the ocean, who sealed herself in this place called Deephold, to keep away the invaders of the Rasting Federation, along with the dark creatures that she made a pact with, so that her and her people could survive. She tells you that the map leads south of Afram. She tells you this because as the picture book goes, you remember the books of these sailors who are lost at sea, and they're guided to a village, a sand village on the coast of the beach, on the beachhead. And the sailors get off. She tells you that's the village of Afram. And she says from Afram, the storybook continues on where the sailors and the Marines or whatever, the human and dwarf sailors, make their way. They are guided by a floating orb spirit, some sort of celestial being, to a white fountain in the middle of this desert elven village. And you had no clue what that meant. She tells you, and if you're looking on the Macerna region map, she points on her map, and she brings out her map, Globster Fountain, next to the Adandrashi village of Sybil. That is the location this image points out to, because in Globster Fountain, that oasis, there is a white unicorn fountain there, said to hold sort of archaic, esoteric knowledge and magic, and that the desert elves that live there protect it and maintain it. She says that we need to go there and we need to speak to a water elemental of sorts, because if you look in the picture book at the end, it doesn't have a real definite ending, but it does show pictures of the dwarf and human sailors talking into the white unicorn fountain, and then a face in the water appears in the picture book. She says that we need to speak to some sort of water elemental of some sorts in the fountain, and it will tell us where to go next. But all of this leads to finding Deephold. I don't know if it was this ASMR wanted to find a way for people to help her friend Athea. I don't know if it's to free Athea or whatever's inside Deephold, if Deephold really does exist. But Hibis Corpse wants in to Deephold. Whatever is in Deephold, Hibis Corpse needs for some nefarious reason, and we cannot allow that. Or I
so,
would not. I don't want to allow it, but we just can't let that happen.
We can't.
Do we
so
know where it is? Do we need the book still?
Yeah, she tells you that the journey there is from Afram to there. It describes the journey. So like we don't you don't technically need the book now that Godolina's here, but Godolina's just like, well, I want to keep the book
Yeah.
just in
all right.
case, because we don't. Well, if we, what if there's someone else out there? Obviously, the people of Hippocaris can read this book as well. What if there's other people there? But at the same time, Hibis Corpus still wants the book. If they may not know, but they also might know. And I don't know what all the other images. If she shows you some of the book pages, on the edges of the books are Elven writing, and I know some of you may be able to read Elven, but it is in an ancient dialect form of Elven, an ancient Elven dialect. And she, who can speak fluently in most Elven languages, she tells you this. She's like, I don't know what these mean, and I don't want them to know what that means, because it could be passcodes or phrases or even more hints about Deephold.
Okay.
Regardless, I would feel that we shouldn't let the book just be exposed. Who knows who would pick it up? Not to mention the book could still prove useful once we find Deephold, or maybe this book is required to talk to this water elemental. Who knows?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Hey, so there's been a lot of sad discussed about so far, um, and this is gonna be a healing, cathartic moment for myself. Let me tell you a little bit about my world, at least what I remember of it from as a kid.
Totally is just yeah. It's just like, okay.
So you see the sky, and you know how what's her face at the Flux Deluxe said that there's it's a gateway. So my sky didn't look like that. Uh, my sky was other worlds. So if you looked up at we had some people called the Sky Watchers. I don't know what their actual affiliation was, but basically we lived on a giant door frame in the space between spaces, and you looked up at the night sky. It changes, but it was just the void in the middle shedding red light. Um, you looked at the sky and you could see it was like a bunch of puzzle pieces, and everywhere you looked, if you focused on it, you could find a connection to another world. Um, People have tried to get up there, but it's pointless. We live in a place of doors, so you could go through a door and wind up in a new place. I was told I wasn't allowed to go to any doors because I was too young, and I'd probably go through the wrong one and die. But obviously, that choice was made for me later on. But yeah, so a giant jade door frame, a city that uh, I mean, every city here is super simple by comparison. You ever walked upside down and looked at your friend above you who was standing upside down to you, but they're right side up to them?
Can't say I have.
No.
Yeah, so that's where I'm from. I just kind of like zone out and just start looking off.
Yeah. Godolino is just like wide eyed, just like, oh, okay. That's
Oh,
sounds like an amazing world to be from.
I mean, it's cool.
that's
Steven was just like, what?
Yeah.
yeah. What?
Oh, so we had
Ooh.
Sterling, the reason why I know that you're not common to this area, I've seen your people, maybe not exactly like you, just different iterations. Tav, your people are pretty common. My
Yeah.
people are pretty common. Just, it's nothing new. I mean, we've seen. I once saw a flibber gem change into a snatterbetch.
You just
What are
said
those?
nothing.
Those are nothing.
Godolino's
Oh,
like, are you making up words?
no.
You need to explain to me what each of those words meant,
Oh,
because
it's
I
okay.
didn't
So you're a
catch.
tiefling and you're a warforged, yeah? There's a
Uh-huh.
flibbergem and a snatterbatch. There's two different races.
So-
Steve is just like, wow.
but,
Also, while your gun's pretty cool, I saw one that shoots light. So that's weird.
I thought I had a weird childhood, but okay, this is even weirder.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess at some point I'm gonna have to try to get this thing off because I want to go home. And you're all invited, of course, but that's probably gonna be a bit. I know exactly how to get home, although apparently it won't work currently. But I know every world has a gateway. It's what we're taught when we grow up. Every world has a gateway to the first gate. Um, but not everyone knows how to find it. Most people stumble on them by accident. Um, it's a pretty busy place. Khosravi's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's tiny from what I remember.
Godolino is just like, gate, like a teleportation of
Well,
sorts?
sort of.
Or
It's usually it depends on what kind of world you're in. We have pretty standard doors here. So
when
what
you
you'll
say worlds, do you mean like different planes?
I mean it connects to different planes, but this place exists in the middle. It's
Huh.
in the middle of all of them and nowhere at the same time. Is how it was explained to me.
Huh.
She said something about other dimensions. That
Yeah, this is in the middle.
Huh.
It's the
Middle of
void.
all of them.
So
Yeah.
oh,
why
you live
why-
between
you
dimensions.
live between them? You live in the middle.
Yeah.
You live
So
in the
you live-
corridor between the bedroom and the kitchen.
Yes.
You can say.
You live in the
Effectively.
closet in
What is
between
that?
the
The
bedroom and
closet's
the
another
kitchen.
realm. That's a no. It's
You
So
live in
think,
the space between the closet, the wall, the bedroom, and the kitchen.
yeah, all in one spot and everywhere.
This is beyond me.
What does that? What does that mean for this world? That's a
Uh,
void, or
It's just a place. You
it's
know,
just a place that's in the middle of everything.
yeah. Most people just pass right through it without even realizing it. I mean, you know the magics that people use to get from like I don't know from here to let's say the plane of fire. They just go from here to there, and they don't stop in the middle. Uh, Few people have run into it by accident. You know, spell misfires or something like that, and they'll wind up there. But
So
unless
it's
you know
like,
what you're looking for, you'll just go right through it.
so say that there's a bridge crossing a river. We're on one side, we want to go another. Obviously, the teleportation that we're accustomed to is like crossing a bridge.
Hmm.
But what you're saying is that we can step off the bridge, and underneath the bridge isn't just water; it's a boulder where people live on.
Yep, basically. I mean,
But
that's
that
the best way
boulder
I can
is
explain it.
also the boulder also doesn't exist, but
Yeah,
it does
kind of.
exist.
It does and it doesn't. So the whole point is it doesn't matter which way you're going, whether you're going to fire, earth, one of what is it, the abyss or whatever the hell they've talked about, like or where the angels reside. It doesn't matter which direction you're going, you can always stop in the middle.
That makes sense.
I'm so confused.
How you
I
doing,
think-
So what?
Steven?
Steven fell asleep. He was just like, "This is blowing my brain up, and it's dead. Sleepy time." He's on his back snoring.
But yeah, there's nothing quite nearly as beautiful as watching all the planes pass above your head. And people try to solve the great puzzle of the sky, and it's just no one's gonna do
So,
it.
so why are you here?
I don't know.
Do you have a mission? Is there something here that you need to do?
No, I was like 10 years old. I was sleeping. I got ripped out of my home.
Who took you?
I don't know, some people in cloaks.
People in cloaks. Did you know these people? Were there people in cloaks that you've seen before?
I mean, I was a kid. I didn't really pay much attention. I was just going around playing with Husu blasters and toy cars.
What were your parents? What were
Cars?
your guardians?
That's the thing. I didn't. I saw them that night. They put me to bed, and then I woke up in the middle of the night. I didn't hear anything except for the rustle of the door, and I uh, I was knocked out, and then I woke up to a searing pain in my chest, and then I was thrown through one of the random doors that leads to one of the planes, and that's how I ended up here.
Huh.
And then I was raised by the Oasis Eaters, and that's why I'm pretty badass today.
I don't know what that all truly means, Ox, but from where I come from, um, there's always a reason. There's always, yes, it's a little bit of destiny, but that's just from the world that I come from. Maybe there's a reason for you to be here.
Yep.
You say that you can't leave though? Why?
Well, I just found that out earlier today. Apparently, and I actually undo the side of my shirt and I go, this brand right here is called the No Walker Brown brand. It's apparently a curse given to super dangerous folks before they get launched into a plane and they get stuck there. You can't leave, even with the most powerful, potent magics.
But you were 10 years old. Why would they put it on a child?
I don't know. Sadism?
They were assholes?
Yeah, well,
Feels
obviously. You don't brand a 10-year-old because you're a good guy.
Yeah,
lady,
that
I
sounds.
guess.
Well, I mean, what if the child was a demon?
This ox looks like a demon.
Well, I'm just. By the way, he said, you're not a good person if you brand the child, chain up a child. What if the child
Oh,
is
you mean
evil? What if the child's evil and you need
Well, I
to
don't think
destroy
Ox
the.
is evil, so I think we can
I'm
eliminate
just
that
simply
possibility.
talking semantics here, but
It's
yes, no,
it's a
I
hypothetical situation. I don't think you can brand a demon. Maybe, I don't know. I just never thought about it. And honestly,
This
I
could,
didn't know what it was until then. I know that I had a tattoo when I was younger, when I was born. You reach a certain age and they give you a tattoo, which is your mark of the city that you're part of their, people, or you've immigrated into it, and they have a whole thing. From what I remember, it was really hard for me to understand. But then they took the brand and they covered it. So, I mean, I don't have that tattoo anymore. There's bits of it here in the scar tissue, but it's
Yeah, that part I think I understand that you're not part of that city anymore. You're an outcast now, like that.
yeah, sounds like you were exiled
yeah.
or just yeah.
Wait a minute. Am I a demon lord? No, that's
No,
stupid.
yeah, that
If you
that
were Ox, we wouldn't be talking.
I mean,
you would
fair.
you would be dead.
One of us would be dead.
Hopefully, ox.
It's not me.
That's not nice. I've been really kind to you all.
If you were a
Um,
demon,
Yeah, we're saying if you were a demon. Ox.
Oh yeah, I would have tried to like eat you or something. I don't know what demons do. I
apparently a
mean,
lot of curses.
yeah, and they melt weapons and make them shit. So rust, melt, whatever.
Well,
Anyway,
Ox, I guess what I'm sort of wondering is, do you want to go back home?
yeah,
to
I
this
want to
place?
find out what happened, but obviously it's going to be a bit before I can do that. Um, but I'm fine here. I've got a lot of friends. I've got my friends here with me. But it's just it's an eventual life goal. I think I'll want to do that after I kill a demon lord, so I can go back and be like, "Hey, what the hell did you do to me?" And then I can be like, "I killed a demon lord. You don't think I can eat you for breakfast?" That sort of thing.
Okay.
I wouldn't actually eat them for breakfast. That seems kind of Anyway,
oh,
I've got some tips for you. You said that you ran into that crazy thing, like all half cocked with your rage and stuff. Um, Let me tell you something. When you rage, you got to rage with purpose. And then I'm like, good night. I just fall over.
As you turn, yeah, as you follow her, turn over, she looks at you, Tam, and she's like, "Does he train with those weird people in bathrobes in the northern part of
Yeah,
the city?"
that's his dojo or
That's
whatever.
he's the
his. That's
leader.
he. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, sleep. We'll look over you. You're safe here. Sleep.
So you guys all take a long rest. Nothing happens. One with two people who are basically never sleeping with Ramperak and Sterling. You all arise the next morning, early around 6 in the morning. Deshant is the one that all beckoned you to wake up. Come on, it's time. We need to go before the tide on the coast, the beach. Come on, let's go.
I just top up. Time
Yeah.
to go do the job. Time to go do, like, nothing's like bothering me at all anymore.
We're all about mine, but
yeah. Godolina just looks at you and she's like, she turns to you, Tav and Sterling, and she's like, well, he's easily distractible. He,
Yeah.
yeah,
spilling his guts out, and now he's seems to have forgotten his feelings. It's not healthy. It's not really healthy.
yeah. I do think he's just
He,
pushing them down low and lower.
he looks at
Using,
both. She looks at both of you. You need to talk to him about this.
yeah, we can try.
I am fueling my rage.
Steven's like he's also in that little chit chat. He turns to Ox, who's like, oh, like, I'm going to do my job, and Steven's like, why are you sad inside?
Who's sad inside? I talked about it. I got it off my chest. I'm good.
You.
And I turn around and I go.
And then Steven turns around. Yeah, he's still sad.
Yeah, he's very good at
Wow.
hiding it.
All right. With that, you guys make your way down the coastline. You all once again mount up on Ramprak, and you make your way down the coastline. Along the coastline, I need everyone to make perception checks. As Ramprak
That's a 3.
slowly trudges through the sand. A 3.
11.
Yep. 3. Don't get hit. Don't get anything. I hit,
4.
Farther down the coastline, Tav, you can actually spot before Dishant makes the comments. You see a bunch of moving seashells in the distance, and as you make your way closer, they are rather large seashells. They're like moving across the beach in and out of the water, and there's about 4 of them. And then finally, Dishant's like, we're getting Oh, not good. Not good. I see bearmint crabs.
What?
Is that the dude ones?
Are there other crabs?
This
We
chance
didn't.
is-
We didn't listen to anything you said.
Shut up! Don't say that. I just don't remember.
I don't want to have
Shannon-
to repeat it all twice, so.
This chance just like gives a loud sound. So, as I was saying, on the 4 days of travel, we are looking for Tautha Cove, and along the coastline. I don't know if you probably should have seen all the warnings on the message boards in the city. But bearmint crabs mating season is upon us, along with other crustacean mating seasons. But bear crabs are very territorial, very dangerous, and they have basically taken up a large portion of the northern coastline, which includes this area.
Oh.
And as you can see, we are now stepping foot into their territory. And on the map, as you go back, if you're on roll 20, I will shift the map to roll 20. You're all atop of Deshant's, and he says, "Oh, as you make your way closer, the bear crabs sort of now ed their way closer, and Deshant just stands up on top of the platform of the tortoise shell. He's like, "Oh, we have to save him." As he gestures all the way on the far side of the map, a male jewel crab who has retracted himself inside. You see that his shell is badly damaged. A lot of the gemstones are lying strewn about on the beach, being cased in salt water. And the 3, no longer 4 anymore. You only see 3 bear crabs slowly turn towards all of you, making weird clickety noises.
I've just got one question.
What's up?
No, I say that to him. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
So-
Deshant's like, yeah.
that guy way out there, we want him to survive. Do we care about the other?
Yeah.
Oh no, bear crabs are pests to the ecosystem. They can-
Fantastic! I
Alright,
jump
thank
off with my
you.
axe and I just start running towards the first one.
Oh,
I can't pull my
okay.
gun. Get ready.
I will say that you will have gone up to here, Ox.
Yep.
Did anyone else want to do anything? Did you want to get off? Go is actually also going to get off and jump right here.
I'm
I'm
gonna get
gonna
off.
stay on. I'm just.
Help
my gun
Steven
out.
down so he gets down.
Hmm?
Then ready to fight.
Okay. We will not rush into combat this turn. We'll probably end it earlier today so we
Okay.
can
Yeah.
start things off next session fresh with the beginning of rolling initiative and starting combat. So with that, we will end today's session. We will pick things up next Saturday with an encounter.
Woohoo!
Woo!
See you later,
Lord.
everybody.